And always remember, Beatles are to all.
David, woohoo! Escar! Woohoo, Biggles!
Beatles!
Darren, Steve
Luke!
and Malcolm Raymond!
Raymond!
And our beer donors.
Beach and Copernicus!
Beach. Alrighty then.
Oh my god, that is very unnerving.
All hail Beetloo!
Isn't it though? Alrighty. Well, welcome back, everyone. Welcome to an unscheduled movie night live matinee. This will be the Convex Earth edition. I'm all aflutter anticipating this.
I'm all excited!
Normally on a movie night we have stuff and things. Unfortunately, in this one, all we're going to have for you is stuff in the form of Convex Earth. Sorry, folks. We got fooled by something that was so painfully obvious everybody in the known universe recognized it as a hoax before us.
And its chief scientist.
Indeed.
Well, to be fair, there were two people who didn't notice it before we did.
Oh, there was many people. Fair?
Two people?
Well, I'm just going with the two notable ones who had to publish a retraction.
I'm sorry. It's hard to hold a straight face about that. and today they tried to play it off like they knew nothing about it.
Even though they have been warned many, many times to research the source of all this, and they have both failed to do so.
And they've been trying to they've actually been trying to sell it off as they didn't know and all this. Well, gee, isn't it your job before you invite somebody to your show, which they did? They invited somebody to the show before the release. They even knew about it back when we were reviewing their bullshit laser test. Okay, because they were talking about it there. They invited the guy to these people to the show, and they weren't going to research this beforehand. Come on.
So it's open your mind. There's gullibility inside. That's
yeah.
That's what we're thinking.
Confirmation bias in practice.
Never.
It's actually
open your shrubbery. There's Beeloo inside.
I guess.
Don't be too much. I'm shy.
I guess nobody clued in RJ to all this foolishness, or he would have been tweeting secondary redactor, like ever since. Anyway.
Oh god.
All right. I guess
it's so bad it hurts, man.
Right. Well, if everyone has their beverages handy.
Well, in lieu of this, and since I don't drink, I actually bought root beer.
Oh, that qualifies. It's got beer in it. It's got the word.
And you know it has roots. The shrubbery that Beeloo was hiding in.
It's a shrubbery.
Now here's the question.
Was there a little path going down the middle?
Well, I think the more important question is what actually was the bush, because it might have been on fire and they were getting like secondhand smoke contact buzz.
Something like that. Oh god.
All right.
I'm sorry. This whole thing was so bad, man. Was so bad.
Oh my god.
I would tend to agree.
It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. How can we delay putting this foolishness on any longer? I got nothing.
I could tell everybody the story of the third time I got crabs.
Just to address Biggles in the chat.
Nee. We are the people who say nee. I like it.
We are now no longer the knights who say neat. We are now the knights who say.
Beelu is so smart. I wonder if he knows how fast a swallow is.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
African or European?
Oh, man.
Oh, both.
All right, we might as well bring it up. Everybody knows how this goes. If there's anything why did I even put that word in there? When there is something you would like to rebut or comment on, just call drink. I will stop the video, and you get to have your way with them. Okay. With this crowd, was that really a wise thing to say? Maybe not.
No.
All right. Perhaps not. But, yeah. We got the drink counter up. Very good. Okay. On that note, let us get started. I have to play. I have to hit play, right? There's no choice.
Yeah. Unfortunately, at this point.
Yeah, crap. All right, here we go. It's not funny yet.
Oh, yes, it is.
It sort of is. It's sort of all right.
We're just tickled with anticipation.
All right.
Yeah.
We are live. What's
Look,
going on, everybody?
Mole says moving on already.
Bob and Jaron from Globebusters here. Well, you're right in the chat. This is going to be an interesting show. Well, not much of a show, more of a kind of little discussion. With me, I have Jaron from Jaronism, and we obviously found some information about the convex Earth, thanks to Kofo72 for one, and also we had gotten some...
We have a drink call. Please proceed.
No, you might have heard that from Kofo, but guess who he heard that from?
And he also outs himself in a couple of seconds here. He heard this from the chat mob that we did yesterday evening. That's the first place he heard this from. Because of the fact that he says it here in a second, we started seeing in the chat something about Beelu. That's where he says he first heard it. Then he went on to watch other videos. So, Sean, you and I, and yeah,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Okay. And thank you to the hundreds of people who put chat things in there. God, that was funny.
And just to point out how they said, well, we'll say that for a little bit here.
Yeah, I know where you're going with that.
All right. Anything else, or shall we proceed?
Moving on.
Other videos mailed to us and or emailed to
afterwards.
us, and needless to say, when we saw what we saw, boy, did we feel stupid. Okay, especially me. Now, I will say that.
Stop.
Hang on. Really?
That's not the magic word.
That's what you made you feel stupid? Not the plethora of other dumb shit that's come out of your mouth? Wow.
Now, keep in mind, now he's saying he feels stupid. Many people, myself included, have been warning Jaron, because Jaron doesn't have me blocked on his channel, but Bob has me blocked on his. But we've been warning all these flat earthers that we're pushing this Convex Earth group to look into their background for months. And it wasn't until yesterday when me and Sly had our hangout until they started taking that researching to their sources seriously. So they had warning. They're eating the crow because they cooked the crow. But go ahead.
All right.
That'll work.
Here we go.
You know, when I was looking at their video today, well, first of all, let's say hi to Jaron. Hey, Jaron.
Yeah, hi, Jaron.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I was
hey,
busy
Jaron.
eating my plate of crow over here.
Yeah.
So
Sup, yo?
I got a big plate of crow going on over here.
it's not bad. It's not bad, but no, yeah, shit happens, and in this case, Beelu happens. So
Yes, in this case, Beelu happened. All right, so let me tell you what happened today for those of you that did see the show. That's great. And we'll probably edit it and at least put the first part up where we kind of debunked the metabunk curvature
Drink.
or standard refraction.
Was that a drink call we have?
That was a drink call.
Alrighty. Proceed.
How many times has Jaron stated that he would like to keep mistakes and screw-ups on the record so people can say, you made a mistake, and he can say, yeah, I did, and this is where it was, and change it in the description. But he's always said that if he screws something up, he wants to leave the video up for a permanent record that says, yes, I can screw up. And here they are burying the fact that they followed me.
I'm not sure if I'm interpreting this right, but it sounds like you're hinting at possible dishonesty. I'm not sure.
No.
All right.
Never.
All right.
Not from these guys.
Would Bilu lie to you?
Certainly not.
No.
Never harmed us.
Bilu is the arbiter of truth. This is Jaren and Bob that are deceptive as fuck.
On this. So they're
Yeah.
they're on the receiving end of Bilu at the moment.
You don't want you don't want any Bilu juice. Trust me.
Gotcha. Bilu juice.
Bilu might like it. You probably won't.
Oh, Bilu would love it.
My anal probes are purple.
Okay. And on that note, moving on.
Calculator and all that. But as far as the second part, let me just say this, guys. I went into it, didn't look. I hadn't seen any of these other videos. Interestingly enough, the ones that I went to this morning were just, kind of nothing. And then we kept.
Lord.
He says that they hadn't seen any of these other videos, but I know that at least since the 22nd of February, at least since then, they've been in contact with these idiots, with at least somebody in there. They have been in contact with them because they actually brought it up during the run up to the laser test, which they still haven't produced. They even stated it in there, and then Dearth actually turned around and says, I don't know, everything sounds a little bit fishy and stuff like that. Why are production companies calling us and all this other stuff? They knew about this. And even then, during this interview, you'll hear it in a second. He even says that, they were trying to put it together for like last month or so, trying to get them on the show to talk about it. So you knew who they were and you didn't do your research?
So basically, yeah, they're either idiots or idiot researchers.
Exactly.
Yeah,
No, what it is.
Those two are not mutually exclusive.
What it is a huge case of confirmation bias. They knew that they're going to say that the Earth is flat, so they weren't going to question anything they ever said.
Right.
And it wasn't until they were called out that they questioned it.
Right. And called out quite publicly.
and shamefully at that.
That's the best way.
The word you're looking for is gloriously.
Yeah, okay, gloriously. That's a good word. I like that. We'll go with that.
Indeed. All right.
Indubitably.
And here we go.
Seeing this thing about Bilo coming up in our chat, and we started looking at it, and then of course I went over to Kofo72's channel and saw this particular video that you're seeing up here. And well, needless to say, I was horrified. I immediately told Jaron, I said, there is no way I can stand behind these guys at this point after seeing this. And I really wanted to have the best of faith in these guys because it seemed like they were legit. But when you see these videos, and I've got them pasted in our description under the show links. But basically, we've got this first one here by Kofo72, Breadcrumbs, Blue Oyster Cult 2, Yearander, who of course is the head of the Convex Earth Tequila Research Society. And then we also have this one, Projecto Portal, which this one is, I don't know if you could even call this one kind of worse, but basically what it is they're talking to a little alien that is hiding behind a tree. And it's like,
everybody to the Earth is fine.
I know. It's like, oh my god. And of course, this is where the actual model came from. So, yeah, God, I am beside myself, guys. Don't know what to say. But we got it wrong, and we will not allow these videos to stand.
I got
We've
something
already
for
pulled.
you to say, Bob.
What might that be?
I was wrong. I've been wrong all this time. I've been lying to you and stealing your money. I'm sorry. I'm going to go commit seppuku now.
Created a organization so I don't have to pay taxes on the money that you send me.
Uh-huh.
Aha. Okay. I guess we should. Was anybody writing that down so we could email it over for him? 'Cause I doubt he's gonna. Just from saying it, I don't know if he's gonna remember.
Oh, well, copy and pasting the link is fine.
All right, good enough. Okay. And here we go.
Them. And like I said, as far as the rest of the show, like I said, we'll edit that down and probably repost it. And
There's
I don't
that
know what
honesty.
else to say
Yes.
other than this
Just
is
take out the
horrifying.
parts where you were supporting it.
I'm going to go ahead and just play this first video by Kofo72. I'm sure Paul won't mind. He's in the chat. But this pretty much tells you all you need to know about these guys, and I am really bummed out about it because, like I said, the Kilo Research
because it
Group
became
is supposedly a group of 3,000 researchers, and at this point, I can believe absolutely nothing of what they have said. But let's go ahead and give this a watch really quick, and you guys can make up your own mind on it. And
Stop.
again, hat tip to Kofo.
Okay.
Remember that he said that. At this point, I can believe nothing that they said. Just repeat
Okay.
that. Or just keep that in your mind as this continues on.
Got it.
72. Damn you, Paul. You just screwed up my whole day. But here we go.
Belu, is that you?
Drink.
Okay.
This is an actual drink. Why the fuck did you have to play it at that speed? Like,
Because it's not at the point he wants to demonstrate.
Right.
All right. My first thought was copyright avoidance. That's
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that too, because there's commercial music playing in it.
all right.
Ah.
Here we go.
Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya.
That was a neat camera cut.
Yeah, it can't be real. They use different images there.
oh,
Yep.
there's another cut.
Oh, can't be real.
Wait for it.
Gotta
Wait
look
for
jump
it.
cut.
Oh.
Now, how did the glass stick in the wall and not stick into his chest? That's what I want to know.
CGI.
Oh, yeah, that's what.
Yep. So they are telekinetic spoon benders, faith healers, Biru talking to people.
Sounds legit.
I want to talk to Belu. What do you want? I got some shit to say to you, motherfucker. Oh, Gio, you know you can say that vocally.
Yes. But I think it's more fitting to the side chat. What do you think?
Now, how's that bending it with his mind?
It appears to be regular physical twisting. I don't really see.
I would say there is no spoon, but that's clearly a fork.
Yeah.
Well, then you
you'd
would be
you'd
right in saying
Oh,
there is
okay.
no spoon.
There is no spoon. It's a fork, you jackass. Hey, that's a federal crime over here.
Well, do you know that it's a coin from his home country?
I would imagine.
Ball sack.
Paul.
Gesundheit.
Yeah.
What?
Why is there? What is he saying? That's a nice pair. What?
Why do I feel like I need to put that on the back of my truck? Right on the trailer hitch.
Now, were they saying anything at this point so far through all this, or just letting the imagery speak for itself?
That.
Oh yeah, no. This is back to them talking. This is not the video playing out. He's actually talking here.
I got nothing. This is. There's no audio in this. It's muted.
Did they take the audio out?
Oh, look at that. There should be audio.
Oh, do we need to actually get the one that was downloaded?
Could be done if you like.
Hold on, I'll look. Hold on.
Did they really edit out the audio for this whole section?
Look at
who's
there was audio. I watched this earlier. There definitely was audio.
Yeah.
Whose version is this? Whose version was this?
I'll take a peek right now.
This is not.
This is Jaren's one. Hold on, I'm looking.
I got the other one.
This is from Jaren. Okay, hold on.
I got the one from last night. Where the hell is it?
No, stop. Everybody stop.
Okay.
It's got audio.
So it
So
does.
why don't you have audio now, Sly?
This is what we got in this part of the video. This is here.
How far in is that?
We are at 7:49.
I know what it is.
What is it?
That's the part where they were saying listen to him talk, meaning listen to the alien. But they're talking here. They're talking in this part.
Why did you lose audio, Sly?
Yeah, they're talking during the whole fork thing, bending as well.
All right, let's.
I didn't lose audio. He killed the audio for it.
Interesting. Where the hell's the one from?
Conspiracy.
Yeah, respect my conspiracy.
No, because I just queued up the one from Jarenism. There is audio there, even in this point right here. So something got screwed up with your config there, Si.
I don't know. All right, just remember 7:49. Let's see what's going on here. Here's moving up.
Did you mute?
No.
Oh.
You hear me?
No, did you mute the
But
video?
they kind of were at the beginning.
See, jumped ahead. We
Go back to the video when we know there was audio.
All right, before
Nothing of what they have said.
we got this.
But let's go ahead and give this a watch really quick, and you guys can make up your own mind on it. And again, hat tip to Kofo72.
Yeah, that was
Damn
it.
you, Paul! You just
And then
Okay,
right
now
here.
And then it cut out.
Yeah, your audio, the audio's cut out. Which channel are you looking at this on?
This was right from Glowbuster, same one as last night.
Is this the one you downloaded, or is this the actual website?
Excuse me, we use the term backed up for archival purposes here.
I think your download got corrupted, dude.
This one may have been backed up for archival purposes. All right. In that case, let's mark the time where we lost audio on this one.
Yeah, you lost audio right there.
Right here.
And-
All right, 4:28. Let's bring up.
Yeah, your archived version has been corrupted.
I don't know. Let's bring up the screen cap from last night. That one was good, right? Here we go. Let's bring this one up, and have to bring it up to 420 thereabouts. Okay. And no, we're not starting it over. Relax.
like I said, we'll edit that down and probably repost. And you guys can make up your own mind on it. And again, hat tip to
hold on.
Kofo72.
Astronomy Live in the chat just said it's not you guys. I confirm no audio on the Glowbusters version currently in that part of the video.
Okay. So
I'm going to third party identify or verify this, because that says a lot if they actually cut audio out of their uploaded version. Finally,
weren't there complaints about space
being able to edit at a live stream after it was published?
Yeah, because this didn't come up under a different name. I just did a refresh on the page we were watching it on last night. So that kind of implies editing a live stream, doesn't it?
Jaren, I guess SpaceX isn't the only people with that ability.
Sure enough, I am looking at the Glowbusters feed right now. It has zero audio in those sections. So they have altered a live stream, and it still says streamed live 12 hours ago.
Okay, so if there
the irony?
If there are 5
they complain
independent
about
sources.
Jarenism complains about that later in this video.
Yep.
So thank you, Jaren, for proving that it's not just SpaceX that can alter a live stream.
And you know what I get out of this?
I believe that one deserves a post-mortem drink, because Jaren is a fucking lying asshole.
That works. And
what I'm actually curious about is later in the video when they are talking about talking about editing the live streams, or shortly before that when Jarenism says that he's suspecting that it was edited. That's complete irony in this case. What do you think?
Mhm.
I would say so.
They get audio back at 9 minutes and 31 seconds.
Oh, that's just amazing.
Now,
All right.
I have the archive before they cut off anybody in the world from viewing it, and there is no audio cuts for 2 minutes.
All right.
So they cut the audio out of 2 minutes, and then it still says streamed live. So, Jaren, you have altered a video that was live streamed, and it still says streamed live. Something that the only people in the world that can possibly do this is SpaceX, according to you.
Yep.
Sounds like
you know what might happen.
So what I hear you saying is I should send a message to them asking, so when did you get the editing rights that SpaceX has?
Yes.
And do you guys know if also the part of the audio is cut out where Jarenism suspects that the video was uploaded later regarding the discreditation of Flat Earth?
Are you serious?
Well, yeah, I know that's in this version from last night, so that should be good. All right.
Well, hold on. I also just recently did a copy of this, the one that Jarenism uploaded. Hold on. What time frame are we at? I'm sorry.
Shortly after 7 minutes to 9 minutes 31.
Hold on a second. Because I just downloaded this myself.
No, you backed it up for archival purposes.
9 minutes and 31?
That's when the audio comes back on, yes.
Wait, when did it go out?
Sai?
A little after 4 in the last one.
Goes out at 4 minutes and around 30 seconds.
Yeah.
From 4 to 9?
Yep.
They lost like 5 minutes.
Oh, I got audio, dude. On Jarenism's. 5 minutes.
Jarenism's is fine.
6 minutes.
That's weird.
7 minutes. 8 minutes.
It's almost like he's trying to hide something.
So what are you trying to hide there, Bob?
And Mr. Bauman, thank you. It helps. All right. So
are we certain that this is malicious, or are they just incompetent? Like, could this be
no, because since it was a live stream, and before they cut it off to where they banned it from the world to see, because they did do that, they said it's not available in any country to watch for many, many hours. It gave Jaren the chance to download it and then put it on his channel. But on the original streamed version on Globebusters, now it has an edited out section that has no audio for 5 minutes.
But the only thing I have to say about that is that it seems strange to me if it's a malicious thing, because they cut it out of the audio for one, but left another copy of it just completely unaltered. So that doesn't seem to make sense. They were doing it for malicious intent.
Think about how competent Jaren is with audio.
Granted,
but
still.
Well, what exactly is in that missing bit? Like, is there anything in there particularly embarrassing or damning? I mean, not to give these guys too much credit, I just hate to jump immediately on them and say, like, you're clearly doing something wrong.
Oh yeah, what if it's what if this is giving the benefit of the doubt once again? What if it's I don't know, there was a pattern match on something and it was a copyright thing, because YouTube does give everybody the option to remove.
Yes, but when that happens, it mutes the original audio as well. So if you download it, that audio is muted as well. It's not just something that they say doesn't get streamed over the player. Mm-hmm. It physically removes that audio clip from the video.
All right, so that benefit of the doubt thing should be tossed then, you're saying. Okay.
Yes.
I'm good.
So Jared says Globebusters is now partnered with SpaceX.
What I just noticed, Helmick has also uploaded the original documentary, and he hasn't pulled it yet. So there's a reaction coming out from him.
He uploaded that yesterday.
According to me, he uploaded it on the 29th of April, so that's 3 days ago or 4. And it's still on there.
The 29th of April?
Sorry, March.
I'm assuming we meant March.
Are you gonna make me call you Nature Hacker?
29th of March, sorry.
Good enough.
Fine.
So yeah, he apparently hasn't pulled it yet, which is interesting.
If anybody doesn't know the reference, Flat Earth Research Wins Part 2.
Okay, nice reference. Alrighty, now we got to catch up to where we were.
Damn you, Paul! You just screwed up my whole day. But here we go.
Imaginary access. The imaginary axis, even if there were physical axes, what would be inclined is the axis, not
Did this.
In the beginning, but I just thought, well, whatever.
Yeah, alright. This is it.
Yeah, that doesn't take long, though.
Okay, so
There it goes.
basically, I'll let this run in the background, but as you can see, you're under Faraday's UFO, his initials UFO, and of course, people did mention that in the beginning, but I just thought, well, whatever. I really wasn't going to base much on that. But when you see things like this and the fact that he was apparently prosecuted, well, that makes things pretty ugly, doesn't it? And if you think this one's bad, guys,
and what was he prosecuted for?
I don't think
I heard a drink call.
Yep. Wait, Bob, now you're concerned about people who have a shady past with the law?
And he was outright told what he was prosecuted for, and he blew it off.
Who was this?
Yeah, so much for integrity.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Bob.
Yeah, now I remember what you're talking about.
We don't do integrity, apparently. Alright, here we go.
going to do that. But hey, Red Flag Media, well, you know what? You're right on the money, buddy. And now here we are eating crow. So
well, I mean, I will say that I'm not really bummed about it myself, because I made a point to say I didn't back this project or didn't back them. I appreciated some of the reasons.
Okay, drink, except when he was backing them and backing this project.
Yeah, and mirroring it on his channel, and yeah.
Why would he share it if he isn't backing it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't back you guys, but you guys are really great, and I really admire what you're doing, and I just love you guys, and that's just great. But
I
I'm not
like the
backing
production quality of your videos, Jaron. Do you see me mirroring your bullshit?
Nope.
Skydog, Bilu is real, and he's here.
Hi, Skydog.
See? Alrighty.
Hang out, chat. Hang out, chat.
Bilu does Blackpool. Oh my God, Fly. Oh, why? Why? Oh my God.
Go ahead, Sai. I dare you.
All right, let's see what I got.
Why?
Why not?
Bilu love you long time.
It is movie night, right?
Yes, it is. All right. Here we go. Now let me go find a bastard.
What have you done?
Nothing.
Oh my God.
Oh, just wait. Just wait. Oh, you guys are going to fucking kill me.
Alrighty, let's get that up. Here we go.
Next.
Let's get that size right. There we go.
Who is responsible? Who did
Me.
this?
That's me. But
Gino, I dare you to do better.
And that was
can't you just? Can't you
Dylan,
just?
I'm already working on it.
Can't you just hear it in Nathan's Hangout? Why don't you speak English? I'll ask you again. Do you not speak English? You twit.
Oh my God.
Cat approved.
So Bilu finally got his anal probe back from Riley.
alrighty. You know, for on the fly, that was pretty damn good for on the fly like that.
Warn me next time. I was mid-drink when you said that.
Oh, my chest hurts.
Oh, that hurt. That went down the wrong way.
All right.
So sorry, off topic. What's your ratings look like now that Bilu's here?
Oh, way the hell up. Must be the aliens. All right. And on that note, let us continue with the fun.
Holy shit, you got 81 people watching, man.
Alrighty. Here we go. That's because of all you fine people. Here we go.
Church, and like I also said, I think that anybody can have varying beliefs. Anybody can believe anything they want. I said, as long as you're not hurting anybody, then there's no problem. Now,
or stealing Bitcoin.
Didn't see these videos that clearly when you are pretending that you're talking to an...
We have a drink call.
Anybody can believe anything they want as long as you're not hurting anybody. I do believe that I recall that some some flat Earth lemming sold all of their worldly possessions to buy an RV to tour the country, promoting flat Earth, and pretty much has not been seen or heard from since because she has no money.
It was them.
That sounds like hurt.
That sounds like it hurt somebody's life there, Jaren. So yes, what you're pushing does hurt people's lives. People lose their friends, their family, because your crew says, if you don't believe what we believe, then you just have nothing to do with us. Pretty much is what it is.
Yep.
So yes, what you're pushing does hurt people, Jaren.
And Jaren, I'd like to add something to that, and Bob and all the other globe busters. Here's the thing, man. If you think that it doesn't affect people, I'm imagining that you still actually have that video, that hangout, you just because you're going to be editing it. So scroll down to the couple hundred people below that who say, yeah, go get them, Globe's dead, blah, blah, blah. Scientists, even D Marble, when he mirrored this after you guys did, he said real scientists giving real proof and all this. And he had a couple of hundred comments. You want to tell me that this bullshit doesn't affect people? Misleading bastards.
Yeah,
Anyway.
if I can tag in and kind of expand upon what Sly said, Sly, sorry. When you sell this type of incredulity, this kind of don't trust mainstream, whatever, that's where you start to get a lot of really, really wackadoo beliefs. That's where you start to get anti-vax beliefs. That's where you start to get chemtrail beliefs. I mean, not to push it too far, but I mean, a man walked into a pizza joint and started shooting in the air and holding hostages because he was convinced the government was lying to him and that there were people like chained up in the basement.
I had a dude.
This specific belief may not directly hurt somebody, but it creates a train of thought that can very quickly lead people into very dangerous places.
When I first got into Flat Earth, a little lackey troll from Daniel Pratt, okay, because Daniel Pratt believes in the militant version of anti-government and anti-establishment, and he and this little troll said that he was going to burn my house down with me and my family in it.
Well, that's
okay.
Nice.
Which was the very nice way of saying, okay, I guess Sly's not going to put his face or his credentials up online. Okay, but here's the other thing. Now, of course, I was fine after he thought my name was Scotty and I lived in Kentucky. Okay, but nevertheless, this is what that breeds. Okay, you guys preach this anti-establishment bullshit with nothing to back it. You can make all the claims you want, but making a question does not negate the answer. Okay? You back it with nothing. Absolutely nothing. Hell, even Bob said that there's rotation of the Earth in this ring gyro. Okay? You back it with nothing. And yet you praise your followers for believing what you say, though you back it with nothing. So, anyway, sorry. Off my soapbox.
That's fine. Oh, I do have to, in the public chat, I do have to correct Terman. Terman was actually talking to you, Sean. Says, Sean Harvard, don't forget Jaren lost his house. I have to correct that. He didn't lose it. He knows where it is. He just can't go there anymore.
I know nothing about that, but that's kind of funny.
Well, Jaren was no longer allowed to return to his house when the adpocalypse hit him.
All right. Let us move on, I guess.
Alien in a bush, you are hurting people. You are flat out lying, and I'd be interested in having them on the show next week. Just
speaking from experience with that flat out lying thing.
Just because I want to hear it out of their mouth when I say, "Did you really talk to Belu in a bush? Did he really tell you the Earth's flat?" If they actually came back and said, "Yes, that was really," I mean,
stop.
What a bunch of dirtbags.
We got it. Here you go.
Got a drink.
No, it's not a drink. Just my Belu's better.
Oh, all right. I was about to hit the drink call counter. All right, moving on.
Now, maybe they would say, well, no, we had found some of this stuff on our own and we didn't know how to really present it, so we presented it with this fake alien. Maybe they would say that. Now, and I'm not saying that's the right way to go about it, but even I've said before, when I first started finding this stuff, I had to wait until Mark Sargent came out with videos because I wasn't going to be the first because I said, I'm not going to take this onto my shoulders. I'm going to wait. And then when Mark came out and I saw his video, I said, this is great. I'm going to make videos. And if anybody says anything to me, I'm just going to say that guy. I just did it because that guy did.
Drink.
I mean, that was something.
Nice.
Is that Jaren's way of saying he has no original thought?
Yep. Jaren says that he was too much of a wuss to come out with this original thought, even though he preaches truth and everybody should speak the truth. He wasn't going to do it till somebody else did.
Way to be a follower, Jaren.
Yep. Don't they call that a sheep?
Ooh, one of the sheeple. Frightening.
All praise the sheeple.
Okay. Alrighty. On that note, here we go. And we have a new image up. Okay.
Thing I've said before, that it was such a hard thing to come out and say. Now, I'm not saying that I ever thought, I'm going to make an alien in a bush tell me that the earth is flat. But I don't know if that's what these guys did that for, or if they still are pulling, trying to propagate this hoax. Clearly, they're not talking to Bilu, an alien in a bush. It's a person. It's a man. It's ridiculous. And so I don't stand behind it. But when you
You're up.
A claim without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. Just because you want to say it was a human in a bush, if you can't prove it, you can't say it. But to be fair, who's to say Bilu isn't the return of the burning bush from the Bible?
People claim to talk to God all the time.
I just didn't have any gas on me at the time, guys.
Okay. And on that note,
wait, really quickly though, I have three questions.
Okay.
There's three options to this thing with Sean. So either Sean is channeling Bilu, Bilu has infiltrated Sean's house, or Sean was hiding in a bush somewhere in Peru and has a lot of explaining to do.
Sean, you got some explaining to do.
I can live in America. I can say Fifth Amendment.
I think we all know what option it is.
I think we can rule out the latter one because he apparently doesn't speak Portuguese.
Yeah. Sounds good to me. I'm going to mirror it.
All right. And on that note, moving on. Here we go.
Start lying to people like that, then we have to pull the plug on it. I still would have said, if it wasn't for Bilu and some of this other nonsense, that, hey, you can have the craziest belief in the world and still go out and do experiments, and we can still take the good and leave the bad. But if you're flat out lying to people, if you're flat out, I mean, it's a joke. And so, no, we can't stand behind any of this. It doesn't even matter. I mean, now if their experiments are legit, you didn't need to go and...
You know what? That gets a drink call.
Now, I was going to ask, Jaren, does that mean we can dismiss all of your material too?
Yeah, and because science does not what they say? Take the good and leave the bad. Science don't do that. You get the good and the bad. Period.
And just to address chat, Richard's key. Yes, Sean is doing the Peter voice.
All right. Bo just sent me a message that they made an excuse about the audio. That there's a pinned comment on the Glowbusters video, and it was edited 2 hours ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're claiming it was because of the song that they were using in the original video. And
we gotta give them that. We gotta give them that.
Yep.
We gotta give them that because that's copyright.
Yeah, but it wasn't a 5-minute song.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. If you use a clip of a song, they'll ping you for it. I know that for a fact.
But 5 minutes?
There was like I said, you might want to watch out about. I had said just a second ago, you might want to watch out about what you play because they play a lot of commercial music, and there was like three, 4 songs, chunks of songs in a row there, and so I'm gonna give them that one. Sorry, spit your drink out.
All right, good enough. And now, from what my musician friends tell me, you can use 8 bars. You can use 8 bars of anything without infringing copyright. Hence a lot of the hip hop songs that use the repetition. Okay, I'm going off topic. Moving on.
Actually, I think it's 7 bars.
It's 7 bars. Okay.
Yeah, 8 bars. You can make a melody.
Here we go.
Lie to people, and they still have these videos up. It's not like they pulled these a while back. It's just a video up, like they're still standing behind this. So I don't know. And Bob, you saw the email that they had agreed to come on the show next week, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that, like I said, they said 2 months ago that they were very tight-lipped about the documentary, and they said that they would be interested in collaborating and even coming on the show. And as Jaron said on today's show, we had invited them to actually come on and, talk about their research and all this stuff. Well, they responded right after the show. We got an email, or Jaron got an email back, and they said that yeah, they would be interested.
Rewind about 30 seconds.
All right.
To where Bob says when they were that he and Jaron were talking to these people.
All right, here's 30 seconds back. Let's see what we got.
They had agreed to come on the show next week, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that, like I said, they said 2 months ago that they were very tight-lipped about the documentary, and they said that they would be interested in collaborating and even coming on the show. And as Jaron said on today's show, we had invited them to actually come on and, talk about their research and all this stuff. Well, they responded right after the show. We got an email.
All right. You want to respond?
Okay, now the point is you need to keep in memory that they've been talking to these people for 2 months. Now, okay, they did not get a copy of the excuse me, the documentary. Of course they didn't, okay? Not before its release date. I can totally understand that. And nowhere in the documentary does it mention this alien thing. Nowhere. Okay? Now, here's the cool part, right? Bob just said that Jaron and Bob, well, he said we have been talking with this guy for 2 months. Remember that at the end of this video. Good.
Okay, here we go.
Email, or Jaron got an email back, and they said that yeah, they would be interested in coming on the show. They would do that. And we were thinking, oh, great, this is going to be awesome. And, of course, it didn't take very much long after that, and I came across the Kofo video. And, oh, man.
He didn't come across it. He just lied. He just lied. Okay. He said he came across the Coho video. No, he just said a second ago, in the beginning of the video, he didn't know anything about this until he saw it in the chat in his Hangout.
Yeah, until someone sent it to him.
No. He said, yeah, they've been getting sent emails, but he said the first thing that he ever heard of Belu was in the chat in the Hangout. If you go way back to the beginning, he says that, but you don't have to. People can rewind it if they want to.
Alrighty.
Lying bastard.
Okay, here we go.
If they're listening to this or whatever, I would love for them to come on the show next week and try and tell me to my face that this is an alien being that for some reason speaks your language and hides in bushes. And
we are stopped.
Okay, so you want them to say it to your face, but are you going to take the defibrillators off your cheeks from all that saving that you're doing?
Yeah, that face is dead, dude.
All right.
Just call it. Just call it, Jaron. Time of death. Just call it. Moving on.
Tells you that the Earth is not a sphere. Now, the crazy thing is, for people who are seeing this for the first time, this video is 2011.
Yeah,
so
7 years ago. Imagine that.
Yeah, 7 years ago. So they weren't lying about how long they've been doing the research, but it still baffles me.
I think it's more stage setting, don't you? I mean, is 7
okay,
years
pause for a second.
Stage?
We are paused.
Now, in last night's Hangout with me and Sly, I made it a point to bring. I actually misspoke last night when I said it was Mark Sargent. It was actually Math Powerland that was in a competition with Eric Dubay about who started the whole Flat Earth movement. Keep that in mind as this moves on, because they aren't claiming to have watched Sly's Hangout from last night. But I brought it up specifically in last night's Hangout.
Yep, because that was a point that he brought up. Because I didn't know about it. He was telling me about it. And isn't it funny that they would just, for absolutely no apparent reason,
discuss the whole competition,
discuss the who was first and why are these guys before us type shit.
So moving on, so we can hear Jaron say exactly what I said in last night's Hangout.
Okay.
Oh, and just one more thing. This is where this right around here, maybe a few seconds off, is where the audio comes back in.
Ah, okay. Here we go.
Or not research, but what, writing the script? Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know either, but I mean, it certainly seems interesting that now, we've all talked about who was the first one with Flat Earth. Was it, Math? Was it Eric Dubé? Well, really, these guys were the first ones. So it becomes a question as to, did somebody take their information and start to push that? I mean, it's just, it opens up a lot of interesting queries, but still, that's not an alien in a bush. That's what it comes down to for me. And I would love to hear them say that it is, because that would just tell me I just can't get behind anybody lying to people's faces like that. Like I said, if you have your own belief, if you believe in aliens and you believe in the galaxy, and that's fine. You can still do experiments. You can still, and I can still take that experiments and look at them and make my own conclusions based on them. But
okay, because Jaren's an expert in experiments,
I was wondering how long it would take the pot to meet the kettle.
There you go.
This is about the fourth time in just this video alone.
Well, I'm going to sum something up because I'm tired of waiting on him to get around to the point that I was actually wanting to really, really address.
Okay.
And that's the whole 2011 thing.
Mm-hmm.
This video was from 2011.
Well,
this, as I said this last night, is the father of the modern flat Earth movement.
Say it, John.
Now, maybe somewhere around 2014, maybe even 2013. A certain couple of people that were thinking about making YouTube channels, ran across it and said, this would make a good fucking con.
Well,
wait. Don't we know who the two characters are that had this?
Pretty much.
Huh.
Who are the two characters?
The two characters are the ones that are fighting about who started the flat Earth movement.
And who was that?
That would be Eric Dubé and Math Powerland.
Eric Dubé and Matt Powerland.
This wasn't something that was created to discredit Flat Earth, because in 2011, there was no Flat Earth movement.
Well,
nothing like what it is.
Well.
Nothing. Anyways. So,
movie
thanks.
night Little John edition.
Thank you, Sly. But there was no movement. So it wasn't set out to discredit anybody. What its purpose was legitimately the same exact thing that Jarenism did on his very first video. Throw out a shit ton of conspiracies to say that you're going to cover and see which one gets the most response, and then follow through with that one.
Exactly.
Jaren, in his very first video, covers 4 different possible conspiracy theories.
4 different conspiracies.
Yeah, different conspiracies, and whichever one people responded to the most is the one he stuck with.
Get the popular one.
Seriously, go back and watch Jaren's very, very first video.
All the way back then.
Okay,
you guys make a kick-ass team. You guys make a great team, I gotta say.
Sly was such a good hype man.
Really?
So what happened was these people made this video that dealt with religious context. It dealt with the shape of the earth context. It dealt with education systems being a corrupt organization. And aliens. Aliens is what took off. Flat Earth wasn't picked up on for 4 more years.
Maybe if they did in Portuguese.
And then once it was picked up on and it became bigger than the alien thing, they moved over to the Flat Earth. They took all of the now big science, quote unquote, behind Flat Earth, and they incorporated it into their little con. It's the same damn thing over and over again.
Science is not behind Flat Earth. Flat Earth is way behind science.
So, no, it wasn't a conspiracy to discredit Flat Earth when there wasn't a Flat Earth movement. It was just a feeler for what con is going to stick.
Mm-hmm.
It took 4 years for the Flat Earth to pick up, and almost 3 more before it became big enough for them to say, okay, we're going to switch from aliens to Flat Earth.
Now, would this be a good time to ask the question? Now, what was this guy down there sent to jail for?
Fraud.
Fraud.
Oh,
I like the way the Brits said it.
pattern.
I'm sorry, I like the way the Brits said it. Charlatanism.
Charlatanism. That does have a certain flair, doesn't it?
That just sounds pretty, man. Shit.
It does.
Is it a matter of public record what exactly he did?
So I just
looked
wanted to clear that up with all the flat earthers. The Convex Earth documentary wasn't to discredit Flat Earth. Flat Earth became big enough to where their original con that failed to pick up ground was able to move forward. That's all it was.
Mm-hmm.
All righty.
It's just their history of people actually finding their videos where they got the original idea from really fucked you guys up at the ass.
Sean, you're ruining movie night, man. Gosh. Why you gotta bring all this drama? Another picture in the chat.
What do we got now? All right. Let's moving on while I get that going. Here we go. Moving on.
When I see that you're telling people that you're talking to aliens in bushes, I got to draw the line.
Yeah, exactly. And take a listen to what this
Wait,
alien
hang on.
sounds like. He
This
sounds like
isn't a
little
drink. This is
cartoon.
a pause.
Okay.
I think we should all commemorate this moment. Jaren has found his limit.
No,
Alien
Jaren has to save face.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a limit. That's just a face saving move.
Because after this, he says he doesn't care what people believe. That shouldn't have any weight on their research and all that shit.
Aha.
Sorry,
All right.
you'll
And,
hear it. They sing it in droves here in a minute.
Okay. Maybe we want to
Damn,
take.
I was trying to be nice and give him a chance.
No, you
No.
weren't.
Maybe we want to
Okay,
take a
you
look
got
at our
me
most
started.
recent graphic before we continue, shall we?
Okay.
This is what we got. All right. And back to the stuff. Here's more stuff.
Let you have a little hint of it here.
Hey, that's me.
Kind of sounds like
There's a bit more Gollum to it.
so yeah.
Lying to everybody's face.
What? Un cerveza?
This is just a man in a dark room behind a bush.
Yes. So guys, yes, we were hoodwinked. Maybe we wanted to believe in them. To the
Wanted
point thinking they
to?
were serious. And I have to admit, hat tipped all the people that said, they don't buy this. Red flag media, you're right on the money. I wanted to believe it very much. It just goes to show you can get caught
Logical
behind it.
fallacy.
And at the time, I didn't really have any reason to.
All right. You know what? I didn't think we were going to be making use of any of the other counters. All right, good. Hold on. Let's get the.
This would be a huge moment of confirmation bias. They're saying what I want them, what they want me to hear, and I agree with what they're saying until they say something so stupid that it makes me look stupid to back them. It's confirmation bias. You didn't look at their history because they were saying what they wanted you to hear. And so you never bothered to look up what everybody under the sun was warning you about because they said what you wanted to hear. So confirmation bias, logical fallacy.
Indeed. Nice call. There we go.
I just
yes.
wanted to say, when you Google this guy's name, the first website actually shows a picture of him behind bars.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I got the link in the side chat.
Details of the of why he was jailed, but it was not long after these videos were originally made.
Imagine that.
Shocking.
Maybe he no longer has his password to YouTube to actually delete the videos.
There are countless accusations against him. Among them, those of of course, it doesn't translate some words. Frickin' Google, but charlatanism is one of them.
Okay.
Along with ideological falsehood and two words that I need to translate elsewhere.
All right. So bad stuff is what you're saying. Bad stuff. Okay.
Snake
Illusion.
oil salesman.
Good enough. All righty. And here we go.
How about bullshit artist? How's that?
It'd be hilarious if if a different translator translated it as such.
Now that's only if he used his anal probe to draw things with.
That's true. That's a no. That's a Belu shit artist.
Ooh, he was posing as a traditional native healer. That was the first one.
I love being me. I broke eat meal.
Wait, what happened?
I just had this horrible picture of him, like Bob Ross holding a turd, drawing a happy little tree.
Gio, get on it.
Now, my question is, what's the difference between a happy little turd and an angry little turd? Just saying.
Consistency.
Oh, great. All right. This is
Okay, so you guys heard what the first of the was, right?
What's that?
The two other charges that were levied against him. Did you guys hear the translation of the first one?
No.
Posing as a native natural healer.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
The second one,
Wait, stop. Wait, posing as, does that mean there's some sort of official education you have to take to become one?
So he wasn't a real. Okay, I understand.
He was pretending to be a natural healer.
wait.
So he was charged for impersonating a charlatan.
That's two strikes, I guess.
That is one way to look at it, but the other one is the crime of maliciously defrauding the unwary.
Yep.
Oh, if only that were a crime here.
That's basically means using stupid people.
There you go.
It means, damn, please let all flat earthers go to Brazil and get charged with that.
Let me put that into Jaren speak. Crowdfunding a balloon that you never launched.
Yeah.
That would qualify.
That would qualify, yeah.
That's in there. Yeah, I would say. All right. Uh-oh, the puns have started. Jay says, now you're hitting below the belt. Lovely. Okay. Moving on. I guess let the get the
tree. I mean bush.
Get thee to a punnery. All right. Moving on.
To disbelieve them,
shut up.
It really made sense to me that they were coming out and speaking from a scientist type of paradigm, and that's why they were trying to put the pieces together the way that they were.
The thing about it is, though, and this is just what I thought, is that if they were faking the experiments and that kind of stuff, I said, okay, well, they came across some of our information about flat Earth and they took it and kind of tried to make it their own. But really,
Frank,
it means...
Okay.
Now we know from the damn lake.
Yeah, I noticed you had a lot of fun with that.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't do any real testing.
Nope.
At all. They had to Photoshop in the laser pulse.
No, the damn laser pulse.
The damn laser pulse.
The damn laser pulse. At the damn lake with the damn surveyor.
Yep.
My girlfriend's chuckling over here. Best thing you've ever done, Sly, was the damn lake.
Oh, I don't know if I could take that, man. I did that whole video in one afternoon.
It would have took me weeks, man, just to get through it. Moving on. Here we go.
Means that they had all this information before any of us did, and then took 7 years to make a documentary that they didn't make any money on. It got content blocked, so it made them absolutely zero. It cost them a lot of money to make. What is the point?
Pause.
I don't understand.
We are paused.
Yeah, Jaren, because you know all about making money from YouTube.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? On the recording, on Jaren's video, right here, no bullshit. At this point right now, the first ad pops in. Dude, I am not bullshitting you. I even, when I was doing my screen record, I even let the ad play just because I was laughing so hard. Because right there when he says there's no money to be made on it, bam, the first ad popped in.
Let me also add that advertisements that are placed in videos are placed manually.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So he actually planned that ad to play right there.
And plus, you don't have to make money off of YouTube. You can post your videos, or the videos might be from something else. In other words, like a video release or a DVD or something like that. Or videos might just be a supplement to a website or a blog where you are making money and taking donations. You know all about that, don't you, Darren?
And they do take third-party funding. They were corporate sponsored, of all things.
And they have all their contact information. So you don't have to just play ads to get money. That's just the easy way to do it. Okay. Videos can be just supplements to another medium, or, Facebook or anything else, someplace where you could actually ask for donations directly.
Let me put it this way. They flat out ask people to mirror their video everywhere. That's called free advertisement.
Right.
For people to come down to their complex, spend time and money there.
In the kiddie pool. In the kiddie pool.
Well, the testicle pool.
The testicle pool.
Thank you, Greater Sapien. I love that.
Okay.
All right. Shall we continue?
Sure.
Here we go.
The point of it. I don't get what the point is. It's not like people could say, I've heard some people in the chat today and in comments saying they did this, they're making fun of flat earthers, it's a joke about flat earth. Well, that can't be true either, because they started this before there was anybody talking flat earth. So they're not making fun of it.
Mm-hmm.
What are they doing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Exactly. So
it's called testing the waters.
Says, yeah, thanks, Kofo. Thanks, Paul, for that.
Waters.
And Jaren and I discussed this, and we were just debating on going back and forth, and we both just kind of came to the conclusion. It's like, look, we screwed up, and we backed the wrong horse in this, and better to pull it now. Eat a little crow. People are going to be making fun of us for the next few days. I can live with that. What I can't live with is people calling.
Still, admirable of them to say exactly that, don't you think? For them to say we blew it, just to say those words, barring the rest of what we're watching right now. It was an awfully good thing for them to say that.
Oh, they screwed up horrendously, I'm sure.
You think?
They wrapped that cute little gumball there in all of the about 15 minutes of bullshit before it and 15 minutes of bullshit after it. So I don't really think that's gonna that's got much taste to it, man.
No. I was just credit where credit is due, even if it is kind of soiled on either side. And
no, what they should have done was listen to people in the beginning.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Indeed. A little late now, boys. Here we go.
No, Globers always tell lies.
Something that we know is absolutely false. Well, we didn't know it this afternoon, but we sure as hell know it now. And this is one of those situations that nobody wants to ever have to face. But you know what? We would be pretty pathetic if we stood behind this. So we can't.
There's another accurate statement.
There it is.
Yeah, and just based on the information I have.
Paused.
Well, again, Bob, you wouldn't have to be making this kind of video if you actually did due diligence and did some research.
Right. Not just remember the Dr. Zach video that you guys were so quick to mirror, and then 5 minutes after I pointed it out, Kara pointed it out, and about 3 other people pointed it out. that whole pre-eclipse video that he did, and we showed how fucked up his stuff was, especially when he had the globe on the wrong side of the orbit, as in the wrong half of the year, and he dropped that, and then you guys, boy, you didn't put no apology out then, did you? You just dropped that video like a hot rock, man.
Okay.
Speaking of Nurse Hack, apparently Nurse Hack is supposed to be taking a shot at Red soon.
What?
On his Astronomy Live co-opted or cooperation to do a how far away is the ISS transit?
Oh shit, we ought to throw my video into that one.
When they
They're
actually
gonna love it.
when they actually calculated the distance to the ISS by using the moon as a backdrop. Now, Dr. Zach, I'm going to do a little spoilery. He says Red's math is correct, but he can still debunk it.
Oh my god, that's gonna be fucking comedy gold.
That is a direct quote. His math is good, but I can debunk it.
That stuff's correct, but that won't stop me.
I can make that truth untrue, so that's okay. Got it. Makes sense.
Got another good one from the chat from Jason Bracey. Instead of just dropping it like a rock, they dropped it like a geoid.
Drop that shit like a hot geoid, man.
All right. We got to move on because Robotham's looking at me. It's creeping me out.
and yeah, I'm going to pause you.
Yeah.
So you're going to look at it.
Okay.
Did you point out the year?
There it is. You're showing it now. Samuel Robotham, nevertheless, in the 17th century, the English inventor Samuel Robotham. Now, the 17th century was the 1600s.
Mm-hmm.
Robotham died in 1884, I believe.
That was one old motherfucker.
Yeah.
And for the idiots that don't understand why, the year 0 to 99 was the first century.
Mm-hmm.
100 to 199 was the second century. Right now, we are in the 21st century. It is always current year plus 1 for the century that you're in.
Indeed.
Well, plus 100.
There you go.
We got the idea. But all right, so I can stop having this guy.
So these scientists don't understand how timelines work.
Oh, Sean, not sure if you saw the message pop up from Geo in the internal chat here. Yeah, he's staring at us from his non-Freemason grave.
I didn't get that.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm not watching the side chat. That's why.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah, all to say, F you, P-Mars.
On that note, I'm tired of this guy staring.
A very disapproving stare.
Yeah, it is. And if you move your head from side to side, the eyes move.
These young people, they've been frolicking on my flat lawn.
now, see, is that the look that Bela gives right before he probes somebody?
No, he doesn't look nearly pleased enough.
I'm gonna get you.
And on that note, moving on.
At the time,
And
I thought it
now I
was
have
still
nightmares.
worth waiting it out. You know, I even made a comment on that video that said, let's wait it out and see until we find out if they really. I kind of looked at it and said they either did these experiments and therefore thank you very much, have a good day, or they didn't, in which case they're dirtbags. Now,
Okay,
at
stop.
this point, I don't need to.
We have stopped.
Now, in their documentary, they never show themselves actually conducting experiments. Not once. They never show the actual conducting of experiments. They show clips here and there of people looking at something looking through a telescope. They don't show what the telescope's looking at until they jump cut a couple scenes later, and then they try to imply that that's what they were looking at through the telescope. But they don't actually show the experiments being run. So no, you don't know if they were actually doing experiments or not. Like I said, they started this whole thing as a feeler 7 years ago. And when Flat Earth did take off, which they probably weren't expecting at the time, they had something to latch onto and then build a narrative around it for Flat Earthers to suck up like you did. That's why all of their claims match what you guys have been claiming, because that is your most recent claims. So they pandered to the audience in order to drum up advertisement. Simple.
Yeah. All I could say is too bad these two guys didn't subscribe to the religion of scientism, or they wouldn't be in this debacle right now. Had they done a little bit of research,
Yeah, I mean,
like all the scientism priests do, they would not be having this problem now.
again, goes back to confirmation bias. They were saying what they wanted to hear, so they didn't bother looking up what the source was about.
Indeed.
And also, I wanted to add to that there were several other people a few days ago, including D Marble, who were saying that it doesn't matter if the footage is from when they were actually doing, or from when they were actually doing the experiments or not, or if it's just kind of like a reenactment. It doesn't matter because
actually, it matters a whole lot. I mean, I'm sure that Bob and Jaron wouldn't throw up a reenactment of a balloon launch, or would they?
I don't know. I wouldn't put it past them.
You know, if we were to use reenactments of some kind of experiment, they would be all over us like flies on shit. They do it, and that's okay. No, it doesn't fly.
I concur. Alrighty, here we go.
To wait really anymore because they've already kind of fulfilled, in my opinion, option 2. So at this point, we just need to, I guess, look at those experiments and go do them ourselves, and leave the rest to Bilu and the Galactic Federation.
Yeah, the Galactic Federation.
I just can't. I don't know what to say about it because it is eating crow, and definitely a hat tip to everyone who. I got a ton of messages and a ton of texts, and check this out, look at this video, and most of the people I just told, yeah, I agree. Hey, I don't have the same beliefs as them, but I don't see a big deal right now.
Paused.
Jaron was just thanking the people that let him know about Bilu. So, Jaron, you're welcome.
And what came to mind to me was not what Jaron was saying, but the image on the screen and the text that goes with it.
Doesn't match. Yes, I know. We talked about that last night in the Hangout with Sly.
Ow, my head is starting to hurt. I need more beer. Be right back.
Okay. And here we go.
And that was before I saw some of this stuff. So they had a good inkling. They had their intuition was right. My intuition was, okay, well, they have different beliefs than me. I'll wait it out. And I waited it out until we could wait it out no more, which is when...
Convex.
It really is kind of comical. You got to laugh at it.
Better.
So.
Well, that's why I'm like, I want to ask these guys flat out, like, that's a joke, right? It's meant to be a joke. And
right.
I would pray on everything that they would say, yes, it's a joke. But I have this strange feeling.
Drink.
Oh, okay.
Did the motherfucker who said, Jesus can suck my dick, just say he was praying?
Yep.
That he did. Oh, keep in mind, he's religious when it's profitable.
Yes.
Okay, fuck the beer. I need vodka.
Oh, no. So I thought,
this is as a side note,
safer.
As a side note, Jared will not be at your Friday night movie night. he'll be in a coma.
Oh my! See, coming into this, I was thinking this has got to be a lot safer than like a hoax.
Oh no! No! You were mistaken.
There are clearly dangers involved. All right.
It's Jaron. Did you really think it was going to be safe?
And by the way, Sai, just as a update, you're in 3 digits.
Oh my!
What?
Most intriguing. Alrighty.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because of Bilu.
Yes, indeed. All right. And on that note, let's see what else we got. But like we don't know, it's just more bullshit. Okay, here we go.
Tell me that they're talking to Bilu.
Yeah, right. Well, you know what we can say? Hey, it was April Fool's. April Fool's, guys. We were just kidding. Unfortunately, we weren't.
Damn it, we could have played this totally different.
I know, we could have totally played it different, but damn it, oh well.
Pause.
It's actually...
We are paused.
Now, did you catch how excited Jaron was that he could have possibly had an easy out?
Yep.
And he's kicking himself. He's kicking himself.
No one fucking say it.
He's kicking himself for the next several minutes because he didn't think of it before they went live.
Yeah, but they wouldn't have been able to substantiate that being an April Fool's joke, given the fact that the video that they're commenting on right now is 11 years old and in June.
Well, again,
or 11. I'm sorry, 11 years old. I'm sorry, 2011.
Again,
June.
Again, Sly, Flat Earth Research Wins Part 2. Certain people can prove that being an April Fool is a year-round endeavor.
That's true.
All right, here we go.
It's actually past midnight here. It's April 2nd, so.
Yeah. Well, no, but when we had the show, it was April 1st, so.
Oh, it could have been our April Fool's show. Shoot, we should have.
Yeah, right. Other than
I wish
that,
we would have really backed him a lot more.
Yeah, we had some great stuff. The first part of it was great. We kind of ripped Mick West a new one. He and that part of the show we'll edit and repost because that was actually good. And that's part.
There's that display of honesty.
They're not, the Globers aren't going to be able to walk away from. But you know what?
Pause.
We are paused.
Do you know why they did that? Why their center of focus, at least in that particular episode, was it was actually all about the refraction index in the excuse me, in the Metabunk Globe Earth calculator. You know why they're doing that? That means they're about to release their laser test, and it didn't work.
Yep.
Shocking as that may seem.
Because I was just thumbing through the recording that we made of the laser pre-test, and they were talking about refraction indexes and all that stuff. So the reason why they had to, this is just like when Jaren came out and said that me, Wolfie, and Dazza were worship baby eating demons. That was because of the fact that he was about to put out something about the equinox. And because the stuff that we had put out from the previous equinox trumped anything that he'd ever done about the equinox, he had to discredit it first. It's kind of like, move stuff out of the way before I present my stuff. And what do you call it? So that's why because other than that, what do they care about refraction? You know what I mean? I mean, what good does it? What purpose does it serve them to do anything about that particular calculator? And that means that we're probably on the verge of seeing whatever production they made of the laser test that didn't work.
I mean, Anthony Riley did exactly the same thing. You don't start caring about the calculator for refraction and all those kinds of things until you start making observations that are inconsistent with their lack of a model.
Right. So that's just those are just my words, but it seems awfully odd that they would pick something like that when that's not their typical crop to pick on a calculator. They usually like to go after bubbles in space and making up weird theories about how things work on the Earth, and making maps that don't work. Doing all that's their typical crop. But going after a calculator, there would be no logical reason for them to do that unless they were about to come out with their video.
Todd Fuller in the chat. Belu has made the Billboard Top 100 with a song "It's Not Easy Being Seen."
Oh, God. All right. And here we go. Look, this is it's the middle of the day. This is turning out to be a real movie night. We are at an hour and a half, and we covered 16 minutes. Okay, here we go.
Hey, we're not crying tears over this, according to the trolls. No, these aren't tears. We are disappointed, bummed out, humiliated. Yes, eating crow, whatever.
These are not tears. Our eyeballs are just sweating.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, better we out with it than support it, because we do not support this. We won't support this, and turn the page. So
That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always
Yes. Sweep it under the rug. Never admit it again.
Yep.
All right.
I think that's a
do
better
it.
analogy. Sweep it under the rug.
Hmm.
I don't know what else
I really
to
did
say
think it would
about
last longer. I mean, he wasn't even here a week.
Damn it. Oh well. And here we go.
But we figured we better go live ASAP just to let everybody
Cover
know
us.
that
Damage
as
control.
soon as we
Backpedal.
saw this ridiculous freaking evidence, and by ridiculous I mean it's excellent evidence to show how ridiculous what we were almost backing, what we were backing. turned out to
Almost?
be.
We're
So,
back.
Almost
Drink.
backing?
I was not.
Drink.
Yeah, that's a drink call almost.
Yep, it's been said. Yeah, it's more.
Almost.
I was. I did.
mirror this on every flat Earth channel that exists, but that's almost backing it.
Almost.
It is close to backing it, I have to say.
Yeah, it's borderline backing. Yeah.
Yes, it's, especially when you throw in Jaren's glowing written review of their efforts. It does seem pretty damn close to backing. All right.
Yeah.
And here we go.
I said, you know what? I support these guys. I own that.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to believe in them, you know, and I'm like, let's wait until the
Bam!
research comes out.
Oh.
And wouldn't it be interesting? I don't even know what that's going to look like, but you have to wonder if they really did collect all this data for 7 years, right? And it's all based on this staged other thing. Obviously, we can't trust that data, but it's
Yeah.
like, oh my God, to what degree?
Up, we have a drink call.
So, does that mean we can discredit everything you've been building up and refusing to put out? Yes.
Sounds like
You know,
that's what he said.
I had an interesting thought about that 7 years on my way home from work today. You know, even the radio test was apparently done in 2009, unless somebody doesn't know how to set the clock on their laptop. And I mean, because the date is on there, it says 2009. So here's the question: what if the centerpiece guy of this video was in jail for the last 6 or 7 years? So this one, because if you look at it, you know, the amount of work that they actually did, you could do in a week. Okay, I mean, you
what
can
they've done, I
literally
mean,
do it in a week.
Soundly has already done. I mean, in
Yeah.
the sense that he's like the amount of work.
Yeah, I mean, you could literally do what they did in a week. Okay.
I mean, they
There was-
they put some damn lasers over the damn lake and measured the damn water and all that. And it's not
And
very
lied about
labor
the damn
intensive.
thing. Yeah. I mean, there was nothing that they did that took any tremendous amount of time. They didn't do any long-term tracking. Okay. They didn't do any, you know, planet orbits observations or anything like that. This was all just a couple of dudes went out here, drove around on a boat, went over there, set up a couple of tripods. You know, I mean, there was nothing spectacular here. You know, I mean, literally, if I had the equipment, I could do it in a weekend. You know, so maybe it was, I mean, because, I mean, we see this guy in the actual video, in the actual documentary, and he looks a wee bit older than he looks in this picture right here. Okay, we see him a couple of times. And could it be that whoever the front man is for this video, maybe he was actually in jail, had this footage to start with, and then went back and assembled it all, said that we've been working on this for 7 years when he's been working to get out of jail for the last 7 years? Possible?
Distinct possibility.
I mean, we already know he's been, you know, he's been under the thumb of the law for a couple of times. You know, maybe one or two of those things that, you know, don't sound like much to us, but it might mean something actually in Brazil or something like that. You know, maybe he was actually behind bars for the last, you know, 6.5 years, and then came out and put a couple of months together with his old footage and tried to pay off his debts.
That is a distinct possibility.
Just a thought.
Alrighty.
So what you're saying is it's a conspiracy.
Something like
No,
that.
I'm saying it's bullshit, just spread out over a long period of time.
Now, was his cellmate named Bilu?
or Hogan.
No, Bilu existed before jail.
Was it Bilu or Bubba?
Can you see him in jail? I got you, Bilu.
I got you, Bilu, right here.
Right here.
All
And
right.
he wants you to perform a test.
Tell me if he's straight. Is
All
he
right.
straight or convex?
Because I'm about to make something concave.
And on that note, moving on. Here we go.
Did these people go to absolutely?
Why did they do it?
Yeah, why did they do it? And you know what? Another thing I said today.
Already
I can't even
explained.
believe I said it. I said straight up. I said, if anybody thinks that they went through all this trouble, spent all this money, built all these models, shot all this film, to pull an April Fool's joke, I said, you're an idiot, right? Well,
Drank.
Wait, yeah. Also, oh, Jared, you first. Sorry.
Yep. It wasn't for an April Fool's. It was called the long game. It's one that con men often play. And you two should be intimately familiar with that one.
Come up with something that can't be proven and just string it along as possible.
Yep.
Sound familiar?
Indeed. I think I've seen that before. All right.
Every flat earther ever made?
Yep, there you go. I knew it was somewhere. All right, here we go.
But they
Maybe you're
didn't.
not.
That's the thing is that they didn't.
Oh, hell yeah.
A couple times in this video also, they go into the cost. It's like you're just talking about like they could have done this in like a weekend. How much money do you think they actually put into this?
It couldn't have been much.
I mean,
I would say
they had apparently at the very least they rented one. They had laser. I mean, they had a radio thing, so that's probably something.
I would guesstimate somewhere in 50 grand. To be fair, between travel and equipment.
I don't know. I wouldn't put it that high, man.
Well,
because you don't know where these guys live.
A total station isn't cheap. Neither is GPS locators. At least not the ones that they use in surveying, which they did have. But they never showed all this equipment with different people. Or at least not many. They showed the telescope with like 2 different people. But as far as the expensive equipment, it was always the same people throughout the clips.
But that laser pointer, man, that thing costs a lot of money.
Oh, please,
it was green.
It was $5. It was $5 laser pointers set up in a circle formation inside of a tube. It's not that expensive.
Come on, man, that's some high dollar shit right there, dude.
But I think other than the total station, the most expensive part was actually flying time. So I'm gonna say probably they got funded for 50 grand.
Yeah, but did they fly anywhere?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Really?
They went to the Straits of Gibraltar and down from France.
Yeah, but
Oh yeah, you have to pay a lot to get there.
now, correct me if I'm wrong here, which I'm allowed to be. Did we ever see them in France?
But they were
just
genius
shot
in France.
Well, no, there was some dude there who spoke something, but he looked more Turkish than anything else. But I mean, aside from shooting out over water and saying that's France, I don't actually recall seeing them actually being in France.
And they went to a damn lake somewhere.
Yeah, well, they
damn
went to
lake
the dam.
somewhere.
The dam is not far from Titicaca, unless I'm mistaken.
No, the damn lake.
Mm-hmm. I'll bring it up while you're talking, but go ahead.
All right. No, Bob in the chat makes a good point. Are we absolutely sure they didn't just crib the video from the pieces of video from all over the web?
No, that's possible.
No,
surprise me.
But these are actually all kind of the same people.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think they just got other people's stock clips.
Okay. And
I do have to address one thing that the flat earthers have been like grasping like straws on is the 2 buildings. They were 3,000 kilometers apart. They did not laser range find the distances between the buildings.
Nope.
They literally took the GPS coordinates at the base and the GPS coordinates at the tops and then did the math.
Congratulations, they're vertical.
Yeah, congratulations. You've proven that they are vertical from the surface. Had nothing to do with the lean, because a GPS coordinate will not get you a lean.
You know, we actually, in the Gem Pandas Discord server, we actually had a nice quick discussion about that. And there is a way from GPS data to actually do what they were claiming they attempted to. However, you need to dig into the raw data and just get the axis coordination, the actual raw data 3 axis rotation points, not the location data supplied by the GPS receiver itself.
Well,
so it is something they could have done if they did it properly.
And yet they did not. Okay. Good enough. Alrighty. Let's move on.
Pulling April Fools. They actually, I don't know. That's why I want to talk to them. I want to know what is their end game here, because they started this before we all did. That's crazy to me. If this was just they just came about on the scene, it would all make sense to me. At this point, it would be like they saw our info, they made some documentary for whatever reason. I don't know if they attempted to make money off of it or whatever. Tried to kind of piggyback off what was going on, but they kind of were at the beginning of it. So then you have to say, well, what did they were just holding this for 7 years and making this documentary for what reason? And they flat out said, as I showed people, or I read the text and everything, or the email and showed Bob, that they said from the very beginning that they weren't trying to make any money off of it, that they wanted it out in the public domain, so they weren't going to monetize it. They didn't want anybody else monetizing it. And then as soon as I put it on my channel, within a few minutes, I got content matched, which means that somebody else has claimed part of the video, and that means that you can't make money off of it, even if they had tried.
Yeah. Okay. Did he fail to mention that he put it on this? He mirrored it, monetized. Did he fail to mention that little key fact?
Here's what content matching does. Somebody puts their material into the content ID database. So YouTube detects when somebody else uploads anything from that content, and then it automatically puts ads on it to give the revenue to the original person that put it on the database.
Mm-hmm.
So they're saying that it's because of a song at the end, but I'm more inclined to think that they content ID'd the actual original upload so that whenever somebody else mirrored it, they would get ad revenue from it. But that's
okay. I need to ask one question then.
What's that?
Then would that not alleviate Jaron from the responsibility of actually knowingly putting ads on it if the revenue was going to the original content holder?
Yes, it would, because we at this point we don't know if he put ads on it or not. Because either way, if you put ads on something that content ID matches, it's shared revenue. It's not all of it goes to the creator.
Okay, but at the same time, okay, well that said, is there anything to back that he was hit for a content ID?
No, there's not, other than his word. But again, everybody who's mirrored it has had ads on it, so I have no reason to doubt that.
Okay.
All right.
You know, I don't like taking Jeremy at his word, but even with this, his word's a little bit iffy. But I've personally dealt with content ID because of my parodies.
Well, it's not a matter of taking him at his word. It's a matter of reviewing what facts are possible. That's all. And
even before I monetized my channel at all, with my parodies, they were getting hit with content ID and then getting ads on them.
Yeah, because I don't trust Jaron as far as I can throw him. But if there's actually something out there in place that could explain this, then I'm perfectly cool with that.
Yeah. Jaron's got wiggle room on this. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that content ID is what caused all the advertisements.
Mm-hmm.
Because content ID will only add one ad to the beginning of a video.
And that also could explain why he took his PayPal links and Patreon links off of the video.
Because he wasn't getting paid for the advertisements.
Yeah. So I think it's plausible that he got hit, and that this whatever you guys are talking about, this revenue sharing type thing was going on. It's plausible for that. I'll give it that.
Yeah, I will definitely actually give Jaron benefit of the doubt on this one because I have personally been hit a lot with content ID, but it's always shared revenue. I've never had one that says you get nothing from this. It's all been shared revenue. Minus one video because I actually just straight up took a Weird Al song and said this is the Flat Earth model because it was just a totally incoherent song. And that was content ID'd to where all revenue automatically went to Weird Al, even if I didn't even bother trying to monetize it, but it wasn't even an option once the content ID flagged for that. So again, it depends on what they put in the database for and what their sharing rules are for that content. Right. But in most cases, content ID is shared revenue, unless you straight up rip their song. And yeah.
All right. Ooh, look, we rounded 18 minutes. Here we go.
For the music at the end of the video was what it was for, because I got the same thing.
Right.
And so did everybody that mirrored it.
Correct. So that means that we all have proof that they didn't make any money or can't make any money off the video. And from that, then you have to say, well, it obviously cost them money, from doing the experiments that we saw them doing. So what is the point? What is the end game?
And moreover, who financed it? And to what end? I mean, that's the part that I'm really curious about now because, how could anybody legitimately start this research like this?
Stop.
We are stopped.
Part of the group is the Ziggurat Foundation. That is a Babylonian religious foundation. They are religiously funded. Asked and answered.
Okay.
Go through all this expense, all the production, building of the models. It's like, oh my God. This apparently they really will go to this level to either discredit the flat Earth community or something. I mean, honestly, like I said, a lot of you guys.
We are stopped.
And I called a drink.
Yeah, what do you call it? How far do you guys go, and what have you produced?
Well, I'm just going to reiterate that how do you make something to discredit a movement that hasn't even started yet?
Right.
And that was going to be my point.
Yeah, and how do you discredit a movement that...
You went straight robot, dog.
Oh, yeah. There's roboting going on.
Did you get too close to the magnet hill?
Oh, did I?
I think Bilu got a hold of him.
Hey man, you need to put your ether filter back up, dude.
Okay, hold on. Give me a second.
Okay.
There, all fixed.
But yeah,
I said, how do you discredit a movement that has never had any credit to begin with?
There you go.
That too.
Another good point. All right. And here we go.
You guys knew it. Red Flag Media knew it. You said, I don't have a good feeling about that. David, deep inside the rabbit hole, said the same thing. I have a bad feeling about this. And I just kept saying, well, que sera. And you're right. We got punked.
Well, I would love to ask them. Are they saying? I got to bring up the chat. I want to see, Paul and you Red Media. I would love to hear you tell me what is their goal here. Are they? How could they have started it?
Okay.
And
one, asked and answered.
Mm-hmm.
Just like any long con game, they're in it for money. Two, this fucking alcohol is kicking my ass now.
Midweek movie night. Bad idea.
All right. Remember, Jared, we do love you.
Love you too, Bilu.
And here we go.
We do make it all better.
I guess I'm going to bring up the chat. I want to see what they've got to say because I'm just confused. I don't get it. Let me see what we see here. Somebody help me out here. What am I missing? What are they doing?
Everything.
Kofa want to speak live. Let's see. Hold. Jinn do exist, so I cannot dismiss them. So that person there is saying that little alien exists in the bush?
Well, let's just say that even and I have an open mind, guys. Obviously, that's no secret. I will consider just about anything. But what I saw in the bush, even though it did look like a lot of the typical gray alien that's out there, I just wasn't buying it because I mean, come on, how cliche, how ridiculous, honestly. A little alien hiding behind a bush talking about this, to these guys. It's absurd. So No, we don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Do I still believe that there are these type of entities out there? I think it's a good possibility, yeah. But I just don't think that this is one of those cases.
Time out.
All right.
No, let him continue. Let him continue. He's going to answer that.
I don't want to lose this point like I lost the last one.
Okay.
How the hell can it be a flat Earth under a dome created by a god, yet there still be aliens?
Hold on. He's going to answer that. I actually kind of almost spit my soda out when he said that. But what do you got? No, he actually does answer that, and you're going to love it.
Okay.
Even
let's
if he
hear that. Yeah.
Even if we'll get right to that, but even if he didn't, don't forget, Creation Ministries International put out that glorious movie that says, yeah, aliens exist, but they're demons. So you see, they did have an out. All right, let's see what they say.
He's got an out.
All right.
A lot of people are asking, is there any possibility that the alien's real? So, and a lot of people are just joining us. Let me recap real quick what's going on. So we all know, 3-4 days ago, Convex Earth came out with this documentary. We all watched it. I told them ahead of time, I said, hey, I want to watch it first. And if I agree with it or I like it, then I want, would you allow me to put it on my channel, as it would help you? It would help push the video a little bit. And I said, but I want to watch it first. So they said, yeah.
If I agree with it, I'll put it on my channel. What does he do? He puts it on his channel. And then to save face, hold on. And then to save face, he's like, well, I was always saying I didn't agree with everything they said. But you just said, if you agree with it, you're going to put it on your channel. And that's what you did.
Cha-ching.
So yes, by your own admission, Jaron, you agreed with it until they came up and butt-fucked you with the purple anal probe.
Yeah.
He's saying it's not like I backed them by backing them. Okay.
I just backed into them.
So he willingly took the probe.
There you go.
That had to make Riley happy.
And asked for more.
All right.
He took it in the bush. Is that Belu the belt?
Yes, it is. And actually, Biggles brings up a good point. It might be the biggest conspiracy, the Bilderberg group. There we go.
God.
Yeah, no problem. We'll even give it to you early. So they gave it to me a few hours early. I watched it, sent it to David Weiss, who watched it, and I was pretty happy with it. The experiments were good. I didn't agree with the second half, but the first half seemed decent. So I put it on my channel. Within a couple hours, I started getting messages.
Wait a minute. Wasn't the first half was just like
the
scenery and boats driving around, and here's how this experiment's going to happen. It was that, right?
Yeah.
So it was like the opening to Miami Vice. All right, here we go.
Yeah, sort of.
So Skywatcher just said something in chat that makes me think that we need to go to a mall and see if we can find a Belu bear.
That's so stupid.
This could trick.
I like this funny.
This
that was a good one.
This Illuminati. Oh, great! This is great. The pun war has commenced.
No,
thanks.
no.
Illuminati.
Illuminati. I love it.
Oh, lovely.
God, why did I not think of that?
And nobody's keeping track of these for the pun section of Discord.
Well, YouTube records the chat for live streams now, so we can go back and go.
All right, I feel a little better then. All right, here we go.
From people saying, hey, these guys are into UFOs. These guys are into this alternative stuff. They're into the occult. You name it. I got all these messages. And so I did pull the video yesterday for a few hours while I did a little bit of research and came to the conclusion after emailing them and getting a response that basically said, yeah, a lot of people lie about us and say nonsense, but we're going against the mainstream. So that's what happens. Yeah. So I said, okay.
Wait.
Hold on. Let me cover this slide. So he says he's getting all this information from people that are warning him about this group. And his research is to ask them if it's true.
Yes, let's ask the con men if they're playing a con.
Well, you're not conning me, are you?
Did you catch the fact that he said he posted it, and then when people started to ask questions, then he researched it?
Yeah. So research before you back shit up.
Or back into shit.
Confirmation bias much?
Sounds like he was feeling real sciencey that day. All right.
Oh God.
And here's some more. As if you
Bob
hadn't
the
had
Beluder.
Oh no.
Belubricate.
Pun war has
So-
commenced. Here we
So
go.
if Bilo pees in your vodka, is it diluted?
Oh, that's it. I'm hitting play. I'm hitting play right now. Here we go.
Well, I put the video back up. We had Globebusters today in that show. We pretty much said the same thing, that hey, let's wait it out. Let's see if they'll come on the show. Let's
maybe
wait.
talk
There's
shit
no
about
use
it.
in burning them at the stake yet. They haven't done anything really wrong. I said they're not hurting anybody. Bob kind of said that he backed them, or was at least behind the documentary.
What?
And then we went
Now,
off
wait
the
a
air,
minute.
whatever.
Yes?
After he took the video down and did his research, he was happy that it was okay. He was content with the content, and he was content with what he researched and put it back up again. Okay, that's not just a one-time, oh, my bad. That's a two-time, I'm backing this shit up.
Yep.
I mean, do you get that? He put it up, he got critique, he took it, he made it private so he could go and research it, as he says, was happy with his research, so he put it back up again.
Uh-huh.
Tripping over the same stick twice. Nice.
And put it up on Globebusters.
Unbelievable.
No, see, I think this goes beyond tripping over the same stick twice. This is like that scene from Men in Tights where you take no, it was Simpsons with frickin' Sideshow Bob. Step on a rake, comes up, hits you in the face. Turn around, take another step, and you get hit again with another one. Turn, take another direction. Oh, it happens a third time. Just fucking stop, Jaron. Please, just stop.
Voice word, yes, the Belu thing is a running gag now.
Not my ET.
All right, here we go.
A few hours ago, we got more messages, this time including a video that Bob can bring up now if he wants again, of these guys in 2011 getting the information of the flat Earth, or of the convex Earth in their opinion, from an alien in a bush named Belu, who speaks like, what's that little guy's name? That
Cousin It from the Addams Family, sort of.
Didn't that come up in your
we
research?
saw that, and at that point, Bob just said, "Oh man, what do we do?" And we just said, "Well, we got to pull the video because we can't stand behind this." And that's, and like we said, props to everyone who had their doubts early on and were thinking that something was up, because these guys are basically the definition of quacks, in my opinion. Now, the people asking, "Is there a chance that the alien's real?" Hey, I'm open to everything, and that's why I said it's important to me I don't think that there's any such thing as aliens. I don't think that these beings come to Earth and that they hide in bushes and they speak in little...
We are paused.
I have to read Termins aloud. Roses are red, violets are Belu. Trust the voices from bushes. They won't lie to you.
I like mine better because I can make a parody out of that.
Yeah.
It was a one-eyed, long, slong, flying purple people poker.
Oh, lovely. Good that we're maintaining our usual high standards in this conversation.
Oh, always.
But it don't look strange to me.
It don't look straight to me.
No, it don't look strange.
No, it don't look straight to me because remember, it's got that nice little curve at the back.
That's true.
It's convex.
Okay, and wow, 23 whole minutes. Nice. Here we go.
Foreign tongue. But I'm open to all evidence when something can be proven. So that's why these guys did email us back, and they emailed me back like immediately after the show, which kind of tells me that they listened to the show. I could be wrong about that, but they're only about 2 or 3 hours ahead of me. So that means that when the show goes on at noon for me, it was only 3 p.m. in Brazil, or 4 p.m. at the latest or so. So it tells me that they could have been watching. They watched, and we basically said on the show, it comes down to, are they going to come on the show and tell us about their research and what they believe? And then they emailed me right after the show and said that they were interested in coming on the show. So at that point, I was kind of excited. So, okay, this will be great to hear from him. We'll get to ask him some questions that we've heard in the community about what their beliefs are, about aliens, about UFOs. But then we saw this video of them talking to an alien in a tree. And at that point, again, it's just something I certainly don't believe exists or happens. But if they're still interested in coming on the show next week, they're more than welcome to come and tell me to my face that they are actually talking to an alien and that this man is bending what is clearly a plastic fork. And, we'll go from there. But I can't back the documentary, so I pulled it off my channel. Bob pulled it off of Globebusters, and then also pulled the show today because the second half of the show was us basically saying, let's wait it out. Don't think anything's wrong yet. We don't need to grab our pitchforks. And
I think this is the sound Jaron was making about the last half of the video.
Yeah.
And so I just noticed we both memorialized Terman's poem.
Oh, okay, good enough. Better twice than not at all. And here we go.
Okay.
Sure.
Go burn. You have a witch hunting or witch burning. But we also just, when we saw this, we said, okay, now these guys are hurting people. When you're telling people that you're able to do the things that this guy's doing or that they're talking to aliens in bushes, that's too much for me. That you've gone over the line. That's nonsense. Yeah. Again, somebody asked, we're not even taking into account whether or not this alien is real. And you're right, I'm not, because I don't think aliens hide in bushes and tell people that the Earth is not a sphere. Well, could I be wrong? Hide? Sure, yeah. I always could be wrong.
They send you an email?
There's the beach right there. The pear. Why was the pear there?
Well, pear Earth, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Obviously from Neil deGrasse Tyson was right. It's a pear Earth, right?
So this person says, one idea, they are Freemasons. They planted the alien, telling them the flat Earth and other foolery. Then they come out with a flat Earth documentary, and their previous videos will discredit the flat Earth. What? So but the thing is about it is
oh, what's he got?
We need to start Project Belu book.
All right, I'm copying that now. Right,
for those that don't catch the reference, Project Blue Book was the government's first foray into studying aliens and UFOs. So starting Project Blue Book, well played, Biggles.
All right, that is officially memorialized forever. All right, back to this nonsense.
There you go.
They came out with this video, the one that we saw with the alien telling them about the flat Earth in 2011. So that's before Eric Dubé made a video. That's before Matt Powerland made a video.
Uh-huh.
That's interesting to me. I mean, that's where, and then I wonder what would be the whole point of it. So they're Freemasons. Okay. They kind of gave out some of what we believe to be the truth. They kind of put some of that out there in that video in 2011. My question is, Bob, do you think these guys really believe that the Earth is convex, and they're using the alien as a way of so let's put it in this situation. Let's say, Bob, that you and I are UFO believers, and we start to realize or think that the Earth is flat, and we have a bunch of people that watch us that are UFO believers. Maybe and I'm not saying we would ever do this. I'm just kind of playing like we're them. Maybe they thought, hey, this will give our idea more credit. This will give our idea more backing if we pretend it came from an alien. That's kind of my only thought. I don't know.
Here's my problem with that, Jaron. It's hard for me to answer that because I do believe in UFOs, and the reason I say that is because I have seen them. I have seen several of them. They've flown right over the top of our house, completely silent. Now, I don't necessarily believe that they belong to little green men. I think they're probably part of the government Black Ops project. But the fact is that whatever they are, they exist. I don't necessarily think that they are housing little grays like Belu, but maybe they are. I don't know. But so it's difficult for me to say that. But one thing I would...
We have stopped.
Oh, okay. Anybody on the panel, what does UFO stand for?
Oh, I have my hands up. Calling me.
Object.
Nobody freaking calls.
Go ahead, Si.
Unidentified flying object.
Where in unidentified flying object does it say little green men?
In between the U and F.
If you see
two words, Sean. Subtext.
There is no I in UFO.
If you see a little black dot flying across the sky miles and miles away from you, if you cannot identify what it is, by definition, it is a UFO. Even though if you were closer to it, you would see it's a helicopter. Just saying, Bob.
Okay, there's two I got to read from the chat.
Okay.
One Toad. 2000 flushes Beeloo.
Yep.
And then Stephen K. Remember, before you insert the anal probe, don't forget to apply Beeloo brand Beelube.
Do you want to put that one into quotes?
Would that be Riley saliva or?
Oh my! Oh my!
Oh God!
Oh wait, he doesn't taste it until after they pull it out.
Oh.
Okay, maybe we should just hit play. What do you think?
Yeah, we should hit play.
Never do is build up this whole facade based around any belief in UFOs or even aliens. And I think if there are aliens, like I said, they probably come from beyond the ice wall, or maybe other lands that are hidden or whatever, that hidden land up north. I mean, there were so many elements of it that really seemed like it made a lot of sense, and it went kind of hand in hand with a lot of the mythology and alternate
but my head
ideas.
hurts. Why wouldn't they include Beeloo in their documentary?
But that's a good question.
Embarrassment.
So they had to know, because it's on the internet, it's on YouTube, that somebody would just search and find out that this information came from this so-called Beeloo. So I can't. I still can.
Damn it, Sly! Damn you!
Just to remind you, Jaron. It took Globers to point this out to you. Because why? We did research.
That's gotta burn.
Thank you, Fluffenstein.
All right.
Fluffenstein.
And here we go.
Not grasp what the end goal is here. What are they trying to do? They just discredited themselves as so-called scientists or researchers by lying about where this information came from. So now you've destroyed that. I cannot wrap my head around it. I'm going to read some of these comments because maybe somebody has got the answer, and I can't find it.
No, but you wrapped it around somebody else's
goal
head.
was to link the Flat Earth documentary with the fake alien video to make entire Flat Earth look kooky. That's interesting. Now, here's the other thing that's interesting, Bob, is that video that says 2011. Well, guess what? Guess who has no credibility with me anymore and being able to trust when things came out?
Here it comes.
YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube has now allowed SpaceX to change live stream. So at this point, how do I know that video wasn't input last year and put in 2011 to do exactly what that comment just said?
Well, to be fair, when you look at him, he does look quite a bit younger in this. But,
And Jaron gets slapped down.
knows?
We don't even have to.
If you're looking at him.
Oh, we have a drink call.
No, I do have to do the drink because, Jaron, your live stream went up and then got edited afterwards. So enjoy that partnership with SpaceX.
No, we had to retract that because there was the copyright thing that we all agreed on.
But
All right.
5 whole minutes.
Yeah, I disagree with 5 minutes because the music was only playing for not even a couple minutes. It wasn't even playing for a full minute, actually.
No, it was not. And all right, drink call stands. Command decision. Here we go.
The picture of what's his name, the UFO guy.
I wasn't even seeing it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he does look younger. Let me back up to him.
So this person here, I mean, this is what I don't understand. I don't think you guys are grasping either. Plain Walker said they wanted us to look stupid. Okay, so here's what you're not getting: is that video was in 2011, before there was anybody making any flat Earth video. So how
you said there
wasn't been the point? How would they have come out with the flat Earth before anybody else did, and then make 7 years of making, and then that's a huge hoax. And it's not like it was I don't know, stupid. If you ask me.
Again, con men feel out what is going to make them money. At the time, Flat Earth didn't, but it was one of the things that they touched on, just like your first video that covered 4 different cons. You went with the flat Earth because at the time, flat Earth was big. You got the most responses about flat Earth in your first video.
And that's
Same
why
thing
a lot
here.
of flat earthers also move on to other subjects when they feel that they are not progressing in that subject. We got
Correct.
people here who think that if you eat moss, you can cure cancer, and all this other wacky shit.
Hold on, I got the perfect example here. Look at Ranty. Look at Ranty. He started out with Nibiru. He wasn't getting anywhere with that. He made 2 whole videos about it. Then he moved on to chemtrails. That got him a little bit more progressive into conspiracy theory bullshit. And then he jumped on flat Earth because that was the big thing.
Yep.
Has Ranty released his chemtrail cream yet?
No, but I'm pretty sure that whenever him and Anthony meet up, they get plenty of cream involved.
Oh my. Oh, guys, Factard wants to know if any of you have seen the new high balloon footage. No.
The what?
What's that? Have you seen the new high altitude balloon footage?
Balloon?
Oh God.
You okay there, Si?
No, I have not.
It's just not going to end, is it?
No, not with
Once
with
a fun war stops, it never ends.
and not with any of us fully
Like-
conscious anyway. All right.
Like I said, Sly, you have your outro. I now have my outro.
Yeah, I hear you.
And I am never letting Bilu die.
Alrighty. And more of this crap. Here we go.
Once the mainstream people look into these great science researchers who just discovered flat Earth, people will go back to see the ridiculous alien video, and flat Earth is discredited officially.
Yeah. And George Smith says the mainstream media will crucify the Brazilians for this alien and use it against flat Earth. And George, well, I wish I could disagree with you, but I think that's entirely possible. So the best thing we can do is, like I said, do exactly what we're doing now. Identify it, say, look, even we were taken in by it until obviously we saw the evidence that, clearly made them out to be complete nutcases. But,
Drank.
what do we do, right?
I was going to
we
try
go.
to let it slide, but flat Earth was already discredited just by your own attempts at shit. This is just icing on the fucking cake.
That it is. All right.
And I don't even think they understand why this is so hilarious to us. It's not because they were taking in, so to speak. It's the fact that they were taking in so overwhelmingly. I mean, this is literally No Forest on a Flat Earth Part 2. Only this wasn't planned. This was something that was tested out as a con, 7 years ago. Didn't work out. Flat Earth got big. And then the original con men said, hey, look, this is where we can jump on board this bandwagon and bring this back. And that's exactly what happened. And you guys took it hook, line, and sinker because you didn't research your source.
Dumbass.
You rag on people for saying, oh, you're going to Wiki. Look at your source. It's Wiki. People can edit Wiki. You get spoon-fed on a silver platter this con from 7 years ago, and you didn't bother to look at the source. I'm sorry, but that's even worse research than citing Wiki as your source. Because this is all documented if you would have bothered to even look for it. But you didn't want to do that because they were saying what you agreed with.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Alrighty. Moving on.
What do we do?
Yeah, crazy. I don't know. Don't know at all. It's pretty crazy. But interesting.
Yeah, I'm reading the chat too here. But so anyway, guys, I mean, I don't know what else we can do to clean up, do any more damage control. We pulled the videos. That's obviously the best that we can do at this point. We're doing this show right now saying, it's not, at this point, we certainly have no reason to believe anything. Here's a picture of him right here, Jaron. He does look younger there. So, yeah, I'd say maybe that there's a good chance that this actually is 7 years old.
I was watching the live stream and I was like, what, Bilu looks younger?
Bilu always looked the same age.
So anyway, yeah, I know. we're not going to sweat it too much. Like I said, if anything, the worst case is right here. Obviously, we're embarrassed about it, and we're going to eat crow. And
You
we're going
don't
to take
say.
crap over it, but oh well. Right?
Jeremy Williams is dead wrong. He said, Jaron, on your channel, if you delete a past video and post another video over it, this being the video being called into question, it will keep the date stamp from the previous video. So, Jeremy, what you're missing is SpaceX did a live stream, and then after the live stream ended, went and changed it, and it still says live stream. That is not possible. There's not even an option to do so. So you're wrong. I cannot delete a video from my channel and then re-upload another video and it keep the date stamp or keep the word live stream on there. It's not possible. Ask anybody. So you're wrong about that. They did something that no other channel is able to do, period. You cannot live stream and then go into it and add a video on top of, and then what I mean on top of, they took a little portion of a video and put it on top of another, like picture in picture, and change the live stream. So
I have a thing on that.
Okay.
What if they just restreamed it? It wasn't long. You know what I'm saying?
That could have been done.
I mean, nobody's really marking the time that things happened here, right? I mean, even when I do a live stream, you know, it could take a little while before the stuff actually uploads. Now, I could turn around. Now, obviously, SpaceX is recording everything that they're doing. Okay, this isn't only going to YouTube. You know, they're making a production out of this, right? Now, if they make a screw up, obviously, you know, somebody who is paid to supervise is going to say, "Hey, that's fucked up. You know, fix that." And then all they have to do is restream it, and they can restream it and have people put some new chats in there or something. Now, unfortunately, I think that SpaceX launch was before they started posting the chats. Am I correct? You know what I'm talking about by posting the chats, as actually having the live chats as part of the replay.
Yeah, the chat replay.
Yeah, so so that was before that.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, we can't know if maybe they put out, hey, you know, we screwed up on one of our bits of footage or something like that. You can still restream it though. I mean, if you look at Soundly's got that channel running right now where it's just his videos over and over again. Okay, ain't nothing in there that's new.
Devil's advocate here, Sly. Devil's advocate here. I'm not sure on this, but I don't know what if you restreamed it, the view count would go back to 0 on the new stream.
Right.
I don't know what the view count was before and after they redid it.
Well, if we don't have that information, then that can't even be a topic, though. I mean, I'm just saying that when
I'm agreeing with you that they could have restreamed it, but with us not having the numbers before and after this was fixed, we can't say either way if they restreamed it or not. That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, well, it's just a point I'm trying to make that, you know, it doesn't just because they have a corrected version out there, which nobody is disputing that it was corrected. Nobody is disputing that. It was corrected because they fucked up in the live footage. Okay. They showed two of the same camera in 2 different positions. Okay. And they know they did that. That's why they fixed it.
Right.
Okay? And what do you call it? So what would be it would probably be an easier and quicker way to upload to restream it, you know, because you have your okay. If you take in all your video, you're the producer, right? If you take in your video and now you have your completed video, you want to fix something, and that might take a minute to fix that, right? By putting this camera into that spot now, okay. Instead of re-rendering that, and instead of re-uploading that in full HD, okay, they can actually. It would probably be easier and more efficient, you know, forgetting all conspiracies, easier and more efficient to actually upload it as a stream.
Well, the problem is they didn't realize that they had a stream screw up until they actually got towards the landing pads and noticed that both the streams were showing the same landing pad.
Well, yeah, like I said, you know, the screw up happened. Everybody knows that. Okay, so that's not even really in dispute. Okay, and the current version that's out is the corrected version. That's also not in dispute. Okay, but instead of, I mean, when I upload some of my videos, man, oh my God, sometimes that shit takes forever. Okay, and knowing that they have a lot of people watching, it would be actually more efficient because, like, when you're doing these streams that you got right now,
Yeah.
okay, this is a paid stream, paid service that you use, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it uploads in high quality, a high frame rate, looks good and stuff like that. Whereas if you were to take this and actually render it to a video and then upload that video, that shit would take forever. And so a simple explanation, at least from my standpoint of making videos, because I've even contemplated doing this once or twice, is instead of uploading the video, let the video play as a stream, and then it'll be converted and look nice when it lands on YouTube by getting it out quicker. Because instead of waiting for the upload and the processing to take place, you just play it new. And while it's playing, it's actually uploading and recording to your channel. So, I mean, just as, I mean, obviously it's, supposedly it says that it's streamed. I don't know. I don't see it. I haven't actually looked at it. And, but if it says it's streamed and it's the corrected version, that is a perfectly plausible reason why somebody would do that, is to get the video out quick without having to go through all the post-production process. Just a thought.
And actually, as long as it's under 2 hours, that would work. If it goes over 2 hours, then you get that last part of the video showing up first, and everyone asking where the hell's the beginning. But if it's under 2 hours, that might work fine.
And I mean, it would be if you have a paid streaming account that could go to YouTube that pumps out in good high quality, then that would be an efficient solution. Just saying.
That would work. Alrighty. And let's see. Oh, we've got about 5 minutes left of this foolishness. What do you think? Is that going to take about, an hour, you think?
And by the way, real quick interjection. The building test that they said was 3,050 kilometers apart from each other was actually 3,021.
Ah.
I win again.
Nice. Okay. And here we go. Last 5 minutes.
Dare you to go try it. You'll see quickly that it's not possible. Anyway, there's nothing much else we can say. I mean, people can say whatever they want. I don't think it discredits Flat Earth in the least bit. And if people try and use that for that reason, it makes no sense. None of us are with them at all. As I've said from the very beginning, I have no affiliation with them.
Not anymore.
I have never met them. I've never talked to them besides emailing them the day before.
Never talked to them?
Heard that.
Traded emails?
Hold on. Let him go through, see if he actually gives a time frame.
All right.
Oh, no. Oh, you'll love this.
So I may have to back out that drink. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, back up about 5 seconds.
All right.
We're making a double.
Lovely. All right, here we go. Backing up a little. Here we go.
Flat Earth in the least bit. And if people try and use that for that reason, it makes no sense. None of us are with them at all. As I've said from the very beginning, I have no affiliation with them. I have never met them. I've never talked to them besides emailing them the day before their video came out and said, hey,
wrong.
If I like the video,
there's a lie. Flat out lie.
Hey, Jaron, to remind you, 2 months before
you just said it. You said it earlier in the same hangout. You just said it. You've been talking with these people for 2 months. And now you said you never talked to them except for an email the day before the thing came out. Lying piece of shit. Can I get an amen?
Amen, brother.
And the Lord said, amen.
All righty.
I've been waiting this whole hangout to say that shit.
All right. Well, we're closing in on it, folks.
Also, can I get just a quick drink? That he said that this doesn't disprove flat Earth. I don't really think anybody's made the claim that this video, that this whole debacle is disprove flat Earth, but it is a scathing indictment as to how you go about collecting evidence and forming arguments.
Exactly.
Yeah, like Just wanted to throw that in there. Sorry.
And it's like I've always said, the flat Earth is nothing but confirmation bias and cognitive dissonance. You guys have just demonstrated the ultimate form of confirmation bias.
This sounds like what we believe.
I mean, seriously, it's like a masterclass in confirmation bias. I don't know. Sorry, just this whole thing is just astounding to me. I had to mute my microphone because I just keep laughing and coughing beer up on the desk.
I know. I understand. I understand completely. You're thinking, what year is this? How could the shit that we are watching even happen? I've
honestly never been happier to sneak into a hangout that I was not invited to.
just to clear up some confusion in the chat from Havoc AP, you don't say no to Bilu. It's not consensual.
Because he speaks Portuguese.
All right. Now for the last 4 minutes. Let's see what we got.
That sucks. I think that's the thing I feel worst about is I don't know if they did it for just notoriety. But what I mean by that is kind of a way to get more people to look into them. I guess they might feel like there's a bunch of flat earthers that are somehow into aliens. I don't know. And that this will now make people go watch their channel. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. Not when you've come out with a video in 2011 talking about some alien telling you the secrets of the universe, and then you take 7 years to do a documentary, and it just so happens in those 7 years, Flat Earth takes off. And I think every experiment that they explained, in my opinion, would result in the results that they showed. So I don't really understand why they would discredit their entire operation. And let's go do those experiments. That's all I can say, and at least find out.
And yet, he has just confirmed that those experiments would produce the results as declared without actually having replicated said experiments. All right.
Yes.
Nah. just no.
If those are the case, if those are true. And because I understand what some people are saying. Some people are saying, well, no flat Earth or no scientist will touch flat Earth now. They're going to stay far away from it. Well, if they fake the experiments and the experiments really would not do what they showed, then you're probably right. But if that's the case, then I don't want to be a flat earther. So that's what it comes down to is I think all those experiments would show that. And all the experiments that we've seen do show that the earth is flat. Therefore...
Okay, that's just... No, we're not... I know everyone thought, let's let that slip by because we're nearing the end of this crap. But every experiment they've ever done has, first off, been a failure. And secondly, been so convoluted going into it that even if it was a failure, they could basically claim whatever the hell they want. So...
Or third, they've proposed and never fucking done.
Oh, there's that too. All right. Okay. Here we go.
I have to tend to think that they believe what they're showing, that they did the experiments that they showed. But again, like Bob said, now how do you believe that and also believe they talk to aliens in bushes? And it's tough to have both those beliefs. So at this point, I've just dropped them all together, and I just hope that we get out and get to do some of these experiments. They gave us some good ideas of ways to do them. And I say,
okay, you're up.
No forest on a flat Earth.
We just got to do the experiments and put them into the light of reality and find out if they really would amount to what they said. But I can't trust them anymore unless I trust Bilu, Convex.
Yeah, and that's it. Unfortunately, because with this discovery, even if by chance it was legit, which I would have the hardest of times believing that any part of it is real now. And
who, Bilu?
Yeah, yeah, obviously.
You mean the experiments?
But I mean the experiments.
Why can't you trust Bilu?
Crap. Anyway, sorry guys. What can I say? But we just thought we'd go live and get this cleared up and spread the word. Let's not let them get away with this, and we will bear the brunt of this joke. And que sera, we deserve it. That's okay.
Pause.
We are paused.
Bob, yet again, you are not the brunt of the joke. You are the joke.
Okay.
So in this case, did Jared and Bob
Oh, and that's already in the public chat. $5.
That's why I said it. Good to go, TJ Waits.
Very nice.
Credit where credit is due.
Indeed. That was.
All right, I'm gonna save my liver and go have dinner.
We're at we're at 36 out of 38. What damage could they do to us in 2 minutes? Who the hell?
It's Jaren and Bob.
Yeah. All right.
Continue on, but I've been kind of waiting for one little spot, but I haven't heard it yet, and it's kind of starting to annoy me.
All right. Well, you think it comes up in the last two? Let us find out.
We will move on. So I guess that's pretty much all we have to say about it. Hey, Jaren?
That's it. I'm going to see if Bilu's open for a mascot job. He can be the Flat Earth mascot, I guess. I got bushes in my backyard and 2 little eyes I could put in there, and put a little voice box in there, and I'll get all the secrets from Bilu.
Yeah, can't change a winning formula.
Well, you know what? This is going to be a great meme for the future. We'll probably win a Flatty for this one. I don't know what the category will be. Biggest bonehead move in Flat Earth? Who knows? I don't know. But okay, guys. Well, I guess we're going to call it a night. It's 1:40 at night here, or 1:40 at night, almost here in Denver. And I know it's early over in the UK and pretty late on the East Coast. But I guess we will call it a show, and we'll be back next week. And maybe we'll even have these guys on, and maybe they can explain themselves.
Explain. What is that guy's name? The UFO guy. What's his first name?
Urander or something like that.
Yeah, I think
his initials are UFO, which
and Bilu stands for Bob is loving your lander. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh my. Okay. All right, guys. On that note, we're out of here. Thanks for joining us, and we will talk to you soon.
Did I miss it?
Peace out, everybody.
Don't lie about aliens in bushes. Don't do it.
That's right.
Because they're liable to believe it.
Wait a second. Did I miss it?
What?
Jaren,
go over
in the original archive of this video,
Jaren
Jaren goes on for like 3 minutes about how it's just this one guy that says that Bilu's this alien, and goes on and on and on about it. But I was waiting for that to pop up, and I didn't hear it. Did I miss it?
We might have. Editing. This is the one from last night. Screen cap. So I don't think anything would be missing.
But where did the 3-minute rant by Jaren saying it was just one guy that was saying this Bilu thing was real?
Again, this is why I say that whole music thing was a cover for the further edits that were done.
Yeah, but the like I said, the other side of it is that up on his video, the one that Jaren actually has uploaded, that blank spot is not there.
Yeah.
Now, yeah. I mean, because when he was going off on that, because I was actually listening to this on the way to work. Thank you for the person that gave me the link to the archive. But yeah, Jaren goes off for like 3 minutes about how it's just this. How can we trust this one guy? The whole team would probably didn't believe this. Just this one guy. No, this is their whole team that was doing this, man.
Well, it's got to be on here because it was.
Yeah, I was actually waiting on that because I was wanting to bring that point up that Jaren was going off that it was just this one guy trying to play it off like the rest of the team didn't know that this video was being made.
Yeah, I don't remember that. We must. You know what? There have been an awful lot of drink calls. It is possible we just let it go by.
Yeah, but a 3-minute section though.
Yeah, if it was that long, we would not have missed it.
Well.
I don't know. I'll rewatch it again and see where the timestamps is on my archive of it. Yeah.
All right. With that, I'm out, guys. I'll take a few days to recover, but yeah. Later.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I hope you had fun. I hope your liver recovers.
I had fun. I'll see if my liver concurs in the morning.
Oh, you're below triple digits now, Sly. You're down to 97 people watching.
Well, everybody knows it's winding down. But yeah, see, normally at the end of a movie night we do the traditional plug and pug. I can't imagine anybody not knowing who you guys are. But would any of you be kind enough to do a plug for yourselves? So in case
I do.
Okay.
Everybody obviously knows who I am. I'm the guy that really does a lot of butthurt to Flat Earth. either making fun of their research, making fun of their claims,
Sean
showing where their
does,
claims are
but
wrong.
Sean does, but
I do parodies, making fun of people. I do parodies to commemorate people. But right now, I'm doing a fundraiser for a Walkira Voyager 4 drone. I am $264 short of the goal. So I'm going to be mean and link this in the chat.
There you go.
I would like to thank Bilu. Let me tell you why I'd like to thank Bilu. Before I did, I did the debunking the experiments before I even knew about the whole alien thing because it wasn't in the actual documentary. But since I did that, and then hang out with Sean yesterday, I have gained 70 subscribers. I am now over 2,000 because of an alien in 2011 who told some dude through a bush in Portuguese that the Earth was flat. and the return on that investment got me 70 new subscribers in 2018.
But when you put it that way, it starts to sound ridiculous.
I would like to point out, Sly, that your view count on that video has, I believe, at this point doubled the last 3 Nathan Oakley shows.
Yep.
might even be tripled, actually.
And that's a hangout. You know?
And
I just find that so outstandingly humorous. And since I know that probably somewhere out there Riley's listening, Riley, if you'd like to discuss the experiments part of this outside of the alien portion of it and stuff like that, I'm more than willing to do that. I'm not expecting anything intelligent from you, but still.
You could be surprised.
Anyway.
All right, no.
I actually kind of feel like I want to do a plug.
All right, go ahead.
And I know I usually crack jokes here, but I'd like to be serious.
Crack that joke.
Well, so several years back, my life took a severe downturn. I became addicted to drugs, things like that. And I knew that it was real bad because about 7 years back, I had archived a bunch of items from a Carnival celebration. And I was out of my mind on mushrooms. I ended up in a bush saying all kinds of just crazy things.
Was Bilu there?
Yeah, I'm trying not to make a Bilu joke, dude.
And I woke up, and next thing I know, people are saying the Earth is flat, and I was like, man, I gotta get my life together. What am I doing?
All right, so Bilu really was here. Nice.
Last night, Bilu saved my life. Last night, Bilu saved my life from whatever.
No, I really do got to bounce though. But my neighbor's losing her mind. I got to figure what that's about. But I appreciate the laughs, even though I wasn't invited. But hey,
glad you're.
Hey, but on the serious side, glad to hear you got out of it, though.
No, all of that was BS. I don't have a drug addiction. If
you fucked hard, man.
if I had a little more time to craft a joke and I wasn't feel like I was being rushed to run outside and see why my neighbor's throwing stuff into the street, I feel like I could have sold it better. But
no, you did. I got it. You were Bilu. I got it. Not to worry. You did fine.
Listen, I'm not fishing for compliments, right? I can always do better. I got it.
Oh, all right. I'm sorry. I thought you were. Okay. Yeah, that sucked.
All right, look, y'all be easy.
Yep. Have a good evening here. And very good. Oh, Sly, would you care to do? You did some talking, but didn't really sound like a plug for you. Would you like to throw in a plug for yourself?
Yeah. Next time I have a hangout, somebody send me some money. I want to get a 3D printer.
There you go. That sounds good.
Does that qualify as a plug?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Sounds like a damn good cause too.
Yeah.
All right, now let's see. Normally, by this time on a real movie night that happens late at night, we would have killed Hill by now. Let's see if Hill's still alive. Hill, are you with the living?
Maybe.
All right. Tell us how cool you are and what you do.
I'm pretty cool, and I do things.
And stuff.
And actually, not so much stuff recently, more just things.
All right, okay. I'm sure you'll get back to it.
But something I have actually done, which I enjoyed quite thoroughly, was I managed to catch an ISS transit of the moon.
Yeah.
So that was nice. It was an illuminated launch. An illuminated transit, and it was. You can't make out the shape of it, but there's always room for improvement. So maybe next time. And something I'm also working on in the moment is to put together some kind of presentation similar to what Sly did quite a while ago, similar to the Equinox invitation, to try and get people to help me observe Jupiter when it reaches opposition on May 9th at 1 o'clock UTC. I'm trying to get some observations in to
I actually got a video
try
on
triangulate
Jupiter this morning. I actually got one of Jupiter this morning.
Oh, nice.
And Saturn and Mars. Fucking crazy.
Whoa.
No. I mean, more.
Yeah, it's pretty
bullshit.
cool.
No bullshit.
No.
What do you call it? Tomorrow morning, when you wake up, if it's clear outside, around 6 o'clock in the morning, look due south. Well, pretty much south. You'll see Jupiter up by the moon, and then off to the left, you'll see two more about the same height off to the left side. And the top one is Saturn, the bottom one is Mars. And I got those on film this morning.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It is.
Well, if I can round out the show with a Beelu quote.
Okay.
Go for it.
Two flat earth Baptists with a Beelu in the bush.
Oh, God.
All right. And on that note, if nobody has anything further,
I have one last thing.
Please do.
This is going to be kind of a short, a quick thing here. In the next day or two, I'm going to be putting out a video requesting all help from folks in Europe to take a very specific time of day and a picture of just the direction of the sun. Folks in Europe, direction of the sun in the next couple of days. I'm going to be putting out a video on it tomorrow. I don't have the date in my head of when I'm trying to do it. I just need people to go out to a town or a city or something like that, find a way to show exactly which direction the sun is. It's going to be like 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay? There's a very specific reason for this, so keep your eye out for that video on my channel.
Now, are you looking for azimuths?
Rough azimuths, yeah. But at a specific time is equally important.
Right.
Yep.
All right. Everybody keep a lookout for that. All right. On that note, if there is nothing further, I believe, as is the tradition, it is time to bring on the pug. So, good evening, all. Thank you for joining us and listening to our esteemed guests pretty much eviscerate that nonsense we were watching. And okay. We got on Andy's Sunday Science, which is on Monday. Scientist Mel will be around once again, and Scientist Mel, who recently broke 1,000, thanks in large part to a lot of you folks doing what I said on the last movie night and leaving the movie night, subbing to her, and then coming back. So thanks for that. Nice work. And on that note, good evening, all. And here comes the pug. Yes, I know it's silly, but I like the pug. I like the song.